What's going on, guys? I'm Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and welcome to a Let's Chat, Just Chatting stream discussing the most recent Direct, and especially the new Yoshi game. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a new Yoshi game that's coming out. It got announced at today's Direct, and yeah, very much looking forward to sharing my opinions, my thoughts on it, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say today, too, about today's Direct. So, welcome, everybody. Welcome to, what a turnout, jeepers. J to the P Moreno, Solar Flare, Slime the 3 Jr., Brain Pick, Joe, J-Dog, Aurora, Brain Pick, Luke, LP, and that looks like it's everybody, but I'm sorry if I missed anyone. There's a bunch of you guys here, so welcome to the stream, everybody. How are you guys doing? Konbanwa. Konbanwa to you as well, LP. Welcome to the stream. Being real, I don't think anyone was expecting the finale reveal for Mario's 40th to be a new Yoshi game. Yeah, right? If anything, I was expecting that to be like its own thing, but you're not going to hear me complaining. We got a new Yoshi game out of the deal. You know, I'm going to switch to the big camera scene, because we're just going to be chatting for a little while, and, at some point here, I do want to start talking about the new Yoshi game. I have some thoughts on it. And we're going to watch the trailer together. But until then, we're just going to hang out for a bit. We're just going to chat. Oh, welcome to the stream, DV. Still not sure how to make of the new Yoshi game. Well, I'll at least share my thoughts with you. For sure. A Wii U classic in 40 years would be peak. Wouldn't it just? Oh, man. By the way, Jeff, you should also talk about the Virtual Boy. Why don't we talk about the Virtual Boy? You know what, actually, let's... I don't know exactly how I want to go about this stream. I don't usually do just chatting streams. Up until, like, 10:30 or so, I was still planning to do a Hollow Knight Silksong stream, but, yeah, my daughter didn't fall asleep until, like, close to 11:30. Yeah, it was like, well, it was like 11:15. At that point, I'm just like, let's just do a just chatting stream. I think that's what makes the most sense here. It's definitely different from the more Yoshi's Island style games. Yeah, it looks very unique. Hey, it's Jacob! Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated! I love it. Welcome to the stream, Jacob. How are you, my friend? So, Galaxy 2 is back. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go ahead. I actually wrote down some notes here. Nintendo Direct notes. I have a Google document, a Google Drive document that I took down all the notes, the release dates, and yeah, we're gonna blast through those, and then we'll come back and talk about some highlights. Yeah, how does that sound? I give my thoughts above. You need to drop everything and read them. It's going to be tough to do that, Solar Flare, but I'll try. Let's see here. I'm giving you some special treatment. My thoughts. Tomodachi Life is going to be peak. Prime 4 looks amazing. I don't care for it, though. Yoshi may or may not be good. Just happy to see him. Like the art style. See above thoughts on Mario Tennis. Well, let's go ahead and see your thoughts on Mario Tennis. I'm still PO'd about Mario Tennis. Bro, like, at least bring back basketball or do or football or something. Also, I swear Galaxy 3 is around the corner if they're porting and pushing a movie. Very well could be. Very well could be. Liam says, dude, new Yoshi game. Thought of you immediately when I saw the announcement. Well, I'm glad that you thought of me, friend. Welcome to the stream. Dude, new Yoshi game. Zai says, Bup. Welcome to the stream, Bup. Welcome to the stream, Zai. Not gonna lie, I expected Mario Maker 3D, but this Direct was great. I agree, Brainpick. I wasn't thinking of Mario Maker 3D, but... Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a good Direct. I'm confused on how fast they released DLC for Bonanza. I'll definitely get to that for sure. Hi, Slime! Hello! Oh, Robert, welcome to the stream! Jeepers. Hello, everybody. I should do late, shorter, just chatting streams more often, yeah? Brainpick says, by the way, Jeff, currently have 9 hours on Silksong now. Probably gonna play some of it while on stream, because for the rest of this week, I've had nothing other than homework. That sucks. The homework part. I'm glad that you've been enjoying Silksong, though. I wish I could be playing it right now, but we've got some more pertinent things to talk about. How does it feel knowing that the Old Spice leaks I sent you a month ago ended up being real? The ones with the Yoshi and Luigi renders. That was nuts in retrospect. Absolutely crazy. And if that's the Yoshi design, I'm not upset about it. It looks pretty nice, actually. To be honest, I haven't even seen most of the Directs, says DV. Well, then major spoilers for you, friend. I am gonna go through here and, you know, list pretty much every major announcement that we had. You know, while we're talking, I've got some music that I'd like to play in the background, so why don't we do that? Y'all let me know if this is too quiet or not. I think it's a little quiet. So, yeah. We're gonna play some Yoshi music in the background. Lots of people here today, huh? I guess. Like I said, I should do more of these late just chatting streams. My super secret insiders told me that Jeff's actual name is Jeff. Joe, shh! You're supposed to keep that inside, friend. Nobody can know that my name is Jeff. Welcome to the stream, Joe. Everyone, well, we gotta see what the Yoshi guy thinks of this game. Yeah, and I will be sharing my thoughts here shortly. Brainpick, as a Final Fantasy VII fan, the small trailer of the remake of Integrate version for the Switch 2 was disappointing. They literally spoiled part of the main story of it, and showed the final boss on all of the trailer. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know anything about the game, so yeah, that stinks. Probably could have got a better trailer, huh? $20 for a game mode and an island, says Luke. Yeah, ouch. My name Jeff. My name is Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry. Jacob says, I'm doing great. Just showered. I got home from work at 11:35. Perfect timing. I get paid bi-weekly. You want to hear my fanciest meals? What my fanciest meals are like when being paid bi-weekly? I do, Jacob. I would like to hear this. I would like to hear them, and then I'll get jealous about them because, like, I can't afford to do that. I got bills to pay. Although I made a chicken Alfredo tonight. It was alright. Never thought I'd see baby Waluigi, but it's real. He is. That was a sight to behold, wasn't it? The world wants Mario American football. The sport is actually growing in Japan for a few reasons. Very nice, Solar Flare. Robert says, I'm looking forward to the new Yoshi game. I'm also excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake for Switch 2. Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Jeff, address the fact that super secret insiders have told me that of your name is actually Jeff instead of Jeff. I don't know, man. You know, maybe you should question your insiders. They're no Nate to hate, that's for sure. Jeff, we need a Yoshi's Crafted World movie. We most certainly don't. If anything, well, I don't know what kind of Yoshi movie let's wait to see what the new Mario movie is going to be like if Yoshi's involved. I hope he is. He'd better be. I'm over the moon about the 5 new megas from Pokemon ZA. I know you're not a fan, but as one, it threw this direct into being a top tier for me. Nice, J-Dog. Also, Power Wash Simulator 2, right? I didn't even know there was one. Well, I did know there was one. It's just, why a second one? Who asked for a second one? I just realized I haven't been here for so long, and I'm not necessarily getting more sleep. I just keep forgetting. Well, no problem, LP. No problem, LP. No problem. Metroid Prime 4 is finally getting released. Heck yeah. Blues Cat says, I saw the direct and I'm getting excited for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and Super Mario Galaxy movie teaser looks interesting so far. Obviously, there wasn't much in that teaser, but that's kind of the point of a teaser. Very interesting that they're going with Mario Galaxy for the movie title. Also, welcome to the stream, Blues Cat. Jacob says, bi-weekly payment be like week 1, 12-ounce ribeye steak with broccoli and asparagus. Week 2, ice soup with a side of hair. Oh, man. That's called budgeting, friend. Welcome to the world of budgeting. I made $200 this week. Well, I'd better only spend $100 this week and $100 next. New Mario Tennis game looks fun, and it doesn't look like Ultra Smash. This is Robert. Nintendo remembered Galaxy exists out of nowhere, right? Would have thought they would, the next movie would be Luigi's Mansion themed. Jeff seeing the Yoshi cutscene. It's not crafted! I'll get to that. I'll get to that for sure. Alright, well, why don't we go ahead and walk through the announcements that happened in today's Direct. There were a lot of them. It was an hour-long Nintendo Direct, and, yeah, a lot of announcements. $40 for one Galaxy. Yeah, again, I'll get to that. Jeff, what's your favorite Yoshi color? Cyan or light blue. From an aesthetic perspective only. From a story perspective, green, but there's not much story to be told in the Mario games, let's be real. I made the most disgusting meal ever for the sole purpose of getting protein in. Ground pork, cottage cheese, and canned tuna were the central ingredients over a cup of rice and a little avocado. That's not in my top 10, that's for sure. But gotta get those gains, right? 3D Land is now officially the most forgotten 3D Mario game. Hasn't it always been? At least since it came out. Honestly, the thing I'm currently most excited about is actually the Rosalina storybook being made into a physical item. I need it. Me too, Kyle. If nothing else, then I need it for thumbnails and props. But I will very much enjoy reading that to my kids. Absolutely. Are they not usually an hour? No, they're usually more like half an hour to 45 minutes at most. This one being just over an hour is wild, dude. I think it's the longest Direct we've ever had. 3D Land and 64DS are the only ones left to be stuck on their OG consoles. Yeah, probably. Nintendo, this is the 7th week in a row you teased Metroid Prime 4. Don't tell me they remembered Galaxy and went, I like money! Alright, I won't tell you. Alright, why don't we go ahead and walk through these announcements, okay? So, it didn't get ported to the Wii U, J-Dog. It was just on Virtual Console. But, yeah, I guess that counts. Is Yoshi a dinosaur? Also, hi. Welcome to the stream, Golden Guy. Alright, so the Direct started off with the Mario 40th Anniversary section. Getting the big news out of the way front and center, I suppose. They started with a few Nintendo Museum updates. There was like an art exhibit. They have different themed admission tickets. Hooray, right? For the 40th anniversary, I guess that seeing the artwork was pretty cool. Like Miyamoto's original sketches of like level 1-1 and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. They're opening a 3rd Super Nintendo theme park in Orlando, Florida. That's awesome. That's gonna be the closest one to me, Universal Studios in Florida. I do hope to get there at some point. They're sponsoring the Kyoto Marathon, or they're at least like going to have a presence there in some form or fashion. Cool. I guess. I'm not really getting the marathons. If you couldn't tell, I'm not super athletic, but it's cool that they want to be part of that, I guess. Apparently Mario will be there cheering you on. I like that. The Super Mario Galaxy movie in theaters April 2026 with Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Bowser, Kamek having their returning cast of voices. So, Mario Galaxy movie. That kind of blew me away. Jeff, go run it. I'd probably die, honestly. Mario's 10 years from a midlife crisis. True. Woo, Mario Galaxy movie! Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it would be like a large focus on Yoshi. This kind of makes me think that he'll probably be a major character, but you know, the focus won't be on him as much, I don't think. We'll see. I am still very excited for it, and JJ, I showed him the direct earlier. JJ's my son, for anyone who doesn't know. He got very excited. He's like, Mario Galaxy movie? I'm like, yeah, bud. We're gonna go watch it when it comes out. I can't wait. The Super Mario Bros. Movie was actually his first movie, so this will be really cool. Well, his first in-theater movie. So it'll be really cool to kind of repeat that experience here in April. Following that announcement, Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 are getting a Nintendo Switch collection. It's a bundle of both games for the Switch, not the Switch 2. Important to keep that in mind, but it will be playable on the Switch 2, obviously. And there are new pages in Rosalina's storybook. That's cool, and apparently it's also in both games now instead of just one. Rosalina's story will be released as a physical storybook, but it will not include the new pages. I'm honestly really excited about that. I hope I can get one. Hope the movie is better than the first, says DV. Yeah, I don't know. I liked the first one. I don't know if it was great, but I enjoyed it. I really did. I don't know celebrities too well. I just hope Rosalina's voice sounds good. I think the voice actors for the first movie have honestly been good, so I have faith. Yeah, I think that movie came together better than any of us really expected it to. I mean, given the lack of story in Mario games, making a movie around it seemed like kind of a long shot, but they pulled it off, I think. It's not like, you know, movie of the year or anything like that, but it was a success, and it did well, and I liked it. Why don't they just bundle all the 3D games into one package? It's money, isn't it? Yeah. Honestly, you know, going back to that for just a second, I was hoping that they would bring this back and maybe like, oh, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed this so much, but like a new like edition of it that comes with Mario Galaxy 2, or like a paid upgrade to that or something like that. I don't know, but that seems like a missed opportunity. I don't really want to buy both games in the collection when I have Mario Galaxy already, and the fact that if I want the digital copy of Mario Galaxy 2, it's gonna be $40, and that is unbelievable. Considering that Wii games were $50 when that game first came out, and now it's selling for $40. What is it? A lot of years later. I feel like it was 2009 or 10 that it came out, so it's been at least 15 years. I hope Rosalina's characterization is good. Peaches was kind of iffy to me, so I hope they understand her. Hopefully, yeah. I might cave for the physical just for Galaxy 2, despite also owning 3D All-Stars. Will it throw a damper on you to say that it's $70 for the Switch 1 copy? Because it is. I honestly, like, I saw it and I'm like, Nintendo, take my money, but at $70, I think I can probably wait, to be honest with you. Really greedy how they don't just pair all four. Yeah, I think most of us were thinking of that at the time when that came out. I'll save up on gift cards and trade-ins, says JP. Fair. I might wait for a Mario Day sale. Might as well just get the Wii physical game. Yeah, I have it. I think. It's behind all my... yeah, there it is. Ha! Ah! There. I do have the physical copy on the Wii, so maybe I'll just rock with this until like a Mario Day sale happens. Like, as excited as I am for Mario Galaxy 2 to be on the Switch, I think I can hold off. The new Yoshi reminds me of Yoshi's story. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Jeff, what are your opinions on the new Yoshi game reveal? For me, it looks way better than Crafted World. Yeah, like I said, I'll get to it. That's going to be its own major section, and I am going to be cutting a video out of that, out of the stream, so definitely going to have a big discussion on the new Yoshi game. I want to know how good / iffy Yoshi's pointer controls will feel in handheld mode. Ooh, handheld mode, that's a good point. I didn't even think about handheld mode. Although, now I'm playing, like, now that I have my own Switch OLED, like, I'm not using it right now, so I got my own Switch OLED, and I'm stoked about that. For a long time I was using my launch Switch on the TV. It's since become the family Switch, and I'm like, I want to have my own Switch that's just mine, and now I have it. I'm stoked about that. just in time for me to have to buy a Switch 2 for the Yoshi game. I was really hoping it would be $30 for both Galaxy 1 and 2. Honestly, I tried a bit of 3D All-Stars on a friend's copy, and the Galaxy cursor controls are so rough. I didn't have that rough of a time with them, I don't think. The gyro was alright, but it wasn't as good as the infrared sensor on the Wii, that's for sure. Does the Switch OLED feel a lot different from the original? I've never felt / tried one. It's a little bit heftier, and it feels more quality. Like the back of this thing, the kickstand in particular. So there's the kickstand, right? It's a full, like, almost a half of it just folds out, and it can stay at pretty much any position from here to closed. And it's got like a nice metallic feel. I don't know if it's actually metallic, but it's cooler to the touch than the rest of it. It kind of just, it does feel a little bit more sturdy and a little bit more high quality than the original launch Switch. So yeah, I'd say it does feel a little different. And like not enough to be like a selling feature, but enough to make a difference, I think. I've played this in handheld a lot. I played through Hollow Knight before Silksong came out, almost entirely handheld, playing it in bed, playing it while I was putting the kids to bed, playing it while someone else was using the TV, almost entirely handheld. So yeah, I wouldn't go rush out and buy one just for like a different feel, but there are definitely some upgrades, and I got this used, got it for a good price too, like 162 bucks on eBay. This was a pre-owned copy. It was in great condition. Unfortunately, like, the owner must have been a smoker, because I could definitely smell smoke smell on it, but it's since worn away, it's gone. And I've got to switch OLED out of the deal. So yeah, can't really, Oh, a real kickstand. Okay, cool, thank you. I was curious about that. Yeah, it's also got 64 gigabytes of internal storage versus the 32 on the original Switch. It's got better speakers. The screen, oh my goodness, I can't believe how much better the screen is on this thing. It's bigger, while like still being only slightly, like the body is only slightly bigger than the original Switch, but the screen is like an inch bigger. And it doesn't sound like that much, but just the screen to body ratio on this guy, you know what, I'm gonna show you. Hang on. Disable the parental controls. Okay, let's get to the menu here. On both systems. Okay, so the 1-inch difference in the screen and the fact that the screen to body ratio is so much better. Look at that difference. How do I hold this? There. Look at that difference. Like, you can barely even tell there's a bezel on this one. On this one, the bezel just seems straight up huge. There we go. So, original Switch, Switch OLED. Look at that difference. It's really hard to show it on camera, but I think you can actually see that. It's a huge difference. I didn't, like, match the brightness settings, so that might not have been, like, super indicative of what's going on, but yeah, it's... Oh my goodness, what an upgrade. I kind of wish I upgraded sooner, to be honest with you, but... Yeah, wow. You ever feel weird going back and using the original? Yeah, actually, kinda. Like... I mean, first of all, this kickstand is weak sauce. This one barely even stays in anymore, like... It just sticks out. And like, it is a decent amount lighter, which is probably, it could be a good thing depending on who you ask, but like, I actually enjoy the heavier feel, and like, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but like, let's do a bit of a sound test. That's tapping the back of the Switch, the original launch Switch, and then on the Switch OLED, it's not really metal, but it feels that way. And you can kind of tell it's got like a heftier feel to it. But seriously, thanks for the comparison. No problem, dude. I kind of feel like I get to show off my purchase. Dang, that's a good deal. Yeah, it is. I remember my regular Switch 1 from 2019 when the kickstand piece broke off. Custom real D-pad? Yeah. So, most of you guys probably know this, but the original Joy-Con did not have a D-pad like this. Hang on. See, this one here is the custom one. I actually put this together on, like, my birthday in 2017. And I had to have that D-pad. If this ever dies, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'd probably just buy a replacement. And a replacement shell and all that. And then the original had this, this 4-button design. So, yeah, there you go. I put a D-pad in there. Definitely big deal. The Switch 2 is huge. I've tried it out in the Best Buy, a demo unit. And it's kind of tough to get, like, a gauge of how big it actually is without, like, picking it up and all that. Because in Best Buy, you know they have those things locked down. But, yeah. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. J-Dog says, Jeff, if it gets buried, could you read my comment? It's funny, lol, and kind of true. Okay. Jeff wanted to truly hold off on getting a Switch 2 to prove a point, and Nintendo really just threw Yoshi at you immediately and went, nuh-uh. Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, that was the first thought I had. Well, okay. First thought I had when I saw the new Yoshi game is, oh my goodness, a new Yoshi game! And then the second thought is, oh man, I gotta buy a Switch 2. Oh well, hey, it is what it is. I tried to hold off. I'm still going to until, you know, Black Friday or Christmas time. But yeah, ultimately I do think I'm gonna have to end up getting a Switch 2. If it wasn't for the Yoshi game and the fact that I want to cover it, I would probably not get a Switch 2 for a while. Jeff, never involve yourself in economic uprisings, you'll always lose. Yeah, I guess so. I literally threw away my Switch 1 kickstand the other day because it fell off and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some old garbage until I realized later, and it was too late. You could probably buy a replacement. Honestly, like... So, that custom Joy-Con I had put together, it came as part of a kit. I could have replaced the back of the Switch, well, the back cover of it with this white one, and it honestly looks pretty slick, if you ask me. And, like, I screwed up the installation because, well, I didn't screw up the installation, I stripped one of the screws on the back, and I just, yeah, completely mangled it, so there's no getting that back off the Switch now unless you drill it out. But this would have looked pretty sick, honestly. And it did come with a kickstand. I guess my point is, you could probably get another kickstand if you really tried. And you really wanted to. And I do still have my gray Joy-Con shells here. I might perform a little surgery on one of the Joy-Cons JJ kind of mangled. Like, replace the shell with the original gray one. It's a lot more boring, but at least it'll function. Like, it won't stop the L button from coming back up. Fun story, I've got my Switch 2 secondhand at an auction. I put in my auction 5 minutes before it ended, and one guy tried to outbid me twice, but I put more money in there and I'd won. How much did you get it for, Luke? Did you see my Switch 2 comment? It's an overused joke. Let's see. Jeff, are you ready to go to Best Buy and ask for a Switch 2, and after waiting for so long, you'll finally get to own a license to play a console that can be revoked by Nintendo if they don't like you? Switch 2 is much more put together than the Switch 1. Honestly, like, the Switch OLED feels a lot better than the launch Switch, so... Yeah. But yeah, no, it's only funny because it's true. The Kongs aren't coming back for the next movie. There was also a trademark for a DK movie a few months back. Yeah, I don't mind that, to be honest. I mean, especially knowing that I might be more upset about it if we didn't know there wasn't, if we didn't know there was a DK movie coming. We know there is. Be honest, Jeff, were you expecting a new Yoshi game for the Direct? The most that I was expecting was a Switch port of Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. That's what I was expecting. But no, full new game. Wow. I'll tell you this, Switch 2 in a portable screen mode feels really good in your hands, says J-Dog. And also, it's huge. But I digress. I'll let you know when I do get one, how I feel about it. Well, if I want to say how much I got it for, auction ended at $465.19, and I paid $512.35 for it. Ouch. Ouch. Considering that, like, now they're extremely easy to find. Like, every week I go to Walmart for my grocery shopping. I mean, that's one of the 3 stores I go to. But anyway, every time I go there, I see like 10 Switch 2s in stock. Like, they're easy to get now. So, you may have overpaid for it, but at least you got it early. Well, not early, but early on in the Switch 2 release launch cycle. Yoshi Daffy Duck says, Baby Wario's back. Oh wait, he was in Dr. Mario World. Oh jeez. Also, I saw Heloy say hello earlier and I never got to say hello back. So Heloy, if you're still there, hi! I should drink water since you're here. Also, one more pro of the Switch 2, magnets. Yeah, those are cool. Like, a cool technology, electromagnetism. It really is. The fact that magnets can just be deactivated by passing electricity through a coil around it, like, that's so cool. The law of mutual inductance going on there, I think. Did you notice that Rosalina might become playable in Mario Wonder? She was seen in a minigame preview. That's pretty cool. It was just the Switch 2. Yeah, that does hurt. I gotta check. How much can you get a Switch 2 for on eBay now? Well, actually now it might not be a good idea to get a Switch 2 on eBay, considering the whole bricking situation. Let's see. Brand new, buy it for $680. Screw that guy. What the heck, dude? No way. It's even just got the sticker for Mario Kart on it. Yeah, why? No. Yeah, they are overpriced to the extreme, dude. I don't know about this one. Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, it's got 3 days left and it's at $213.50. Yeah, no. Now is not the right time. Open box clean and complete. 2 bids. 1 day left. $335. Yeah, no, this stuff's overpriced. Way overpriced. I would not try to buy a Switch 2 on eBay. For one, it's like, it's very risky because you could get a bricked one. But also, too, there's very little price disparity between getting it on eBay and getting it, like, brand new. Yeah, I would not recommend getting a Switch 2 on eBay right now. I paid for Tears of the Kingdom for $50 on Woot, and I only paid for $60 on the game. There you go. There you go. That's where some of your money came back. Still waiting on different colors for Switch 2 Joy-Cons. Yeah, we definitely should see some come in. I mean, we're still early on. Like, how long did we just have the gray and the neon red and blue Joy-Cons for Switch 1? I don't know, but it was a while before other colorways came in, right? Are you ready to sell your hand and kidney for the Switch 2? Because of the new Funny Green Dinosaur game for 2026? I'll be truthful, Golden Guy. If I worked, you know, overtime for a couple of weeks, no problem. And I've got a good budget in place. So, with a decent amount of margin, not to get too behind the scenes, but yeah, I've got a decent margin from my income after all my bills and stuff are paid. Helps that I just paid off my van and my student loans. The only debt that I have now is my house. So, yeah, not to brag or anything, but saving up for the Switch 2 shouldn't be that big of an issue. I think I'll be alright. I think Nintendo is forced to nerf Yoshi in Wonder because of the competition minigames, lol. Oh, are they nerfing him? That's why the new Yoshi game doesn't involve the babies. He handed the job over to DK, lol. Yeah, for the Mario Tennis. You know, speaking of that, I gotta get back to the Direct, because, boy, we have a lot of announcements to get through. So let me just try and blast through these, and then I'll get back to some comments. Nerfing in a 2D platform game? I mean, they could have, like, made his flutter jump worse, or, like, I don't know, increase the knockback, or something, I don't know. Okay, so next announcement after the Mario Galaxy and Rosalina Storybook was Mario Tennis Fever. Looks okay, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's Mario Tennis, what do you really expect? It's got a story mode, and it's got, like, a fun looking like arcade style tennis game. What do you really want out of a Mario tennis game? Like, I see people complaining about it. I'm just curious, like, what are you guys looking for? I don't know. It doesn't look that disappointing to me. I'm buying tennis and I'm gonna like it. It's a solar flare. There you go. There's some positivity. No, it looks fine. I don't know if I'll buy it. Maybe on sale at some point. I'll take it though. Really liked Mario Tennis on the N64, so. Okay. Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bella Bell Park. Basically just DLC for Mario Bros. Wonder and a Switch 2 Edition, which, I mean, cool, I guess. I don't think I'll be spending the extra $20 on it unless, like, the single player content is compelling enough, but I don't know, I guess we'll see, huh? I guess we'll see. I've got some hair that's, like, messing up my look here. Very curious how much single player will be in the Wonder DLC because they didn't want to show it much. Yeah, I honestly, hang on, this is bothering me. Honestly, like, I wonder how much of that was just because, like, maybe they're saving it for another direct, or I don't know. I would have thought that you would have wanted the best first impression, because it does look like there's going to be more single player content, and that's the stuff I'm more curious about. But yeah, we'll see. I do like the Phantom Masks. The Phantom Masks coming back from Mario Bros. 2. Multiplayer seems really cute, but I don't know if that's the kind of game I break out at parties. Yeah, no. Honestly, like, my son will probably enjoy playing that with me quite a bit, but I don't know. I don't know if it's warranted to pay $20 for it. Mario Wonder did tease more content for the base game, like more bosses in the campaign. They should have led with that. Yeah, they should have, because that's the most compelling thing to me. Basketball, baseball, or new sports, the Solar Flare. Golf. I liked Mario Golf the best, honestly. That's what Wii Party U is for. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Same with... Oh, sorry. I've been thinking a lot about the future of some franchises. I actually like that Odyssey team worked on DK. That means the next mainline Mario will be something completely different. Same with Smash Bros. Yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting to see what happens. Maybe this tennis game will actually be fully fleshed out for its price, says DV. Don't get your hopes up. Still waiting for Yoshi commits tax fraud. Go to game. Switch party with Mies. How do you feel about Talking Flower becoming a mainstay? I don't hate it. I mean, it seems like kind of a funny choice, but I don't hate it. They should just make a Wii Party U too. Just call it that. You know, speaking of the Talking Flowers, they're getting a physical toy. I was showing Sky the director. She's like, man, it's kind of crazy, like the kinds of stuff they'll make just to get money these days. And honestly, that is not a hot take. Honestly, that's so true.
Aw, Santa need to go on a diet.
Says Soshi the Yoshi. Welcome to the stream, Soshi. Talking Flower becoming a mainstay instead of Cappy. Rip. Yeah. I'm getting Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 for Roy alone. Roy's our boy! Roy's our boy! I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be in reference to Roy from Final Fantasy. Fire Emblem. But oh well. Oh yeah, option to turn off Talking Flower announcer in Tennis Fever or instant no buy please and thanks. I mean, they had that option in Mario Bros. Wonder, so you know that's not reasonably an unreasonable expectation. I got there eventually. Claudaddy Peach, heck yeah, love that music. Elite tune, it really is. All right, the next announcement was the Yoshi and the Mysterious Book coming to Nintendo Switch 2 spring 2026, and I don't want to talk about that much right now. I want to get back to that a little later. We're gonna go more in depth about it, and we're gonna watch the trailer together. Golden Guy says, oh, but can't wait. So that Talking Flower says, I wonder what Goombas taste like in a random family reunion or in my sleep. Yeah, or like when Koizumi was like showing it off, it said, we look alike. Yeah, it makes sense. Save the main event for last. I was thinking about doing it first, but well, then I didn't do the Silk Song stream tonight, so no well. Can't believe we also got Virtual Boy on the sub reveal. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a minute. So, Storm Lancers was the next announcement for Nintendo Switch. It's a shadow drop. I don't remember what that is, and I don't really care. If it was exciting to you, by all means. I think, from what I remember, it looked fine, but it's not like anything I'm eager to play. Same with the next couple of announcements. Dinkum for Nintendo Switch coming November 5th. Demo available today. Okay. Popucom, Nintendo Switch, Holiday 2025. Whatever. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. Spring 2026, Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I mean, it looks like fun. It makes me think of that mobile game Miitomo. I played Miitomo a little bit, but then I know Tomodachi Life was like a bigger thing. Never played it, but it looks like fun if that's your thing. It does look like fun. Very quirky. I like that. Bro, I want a Nintendo DS online. You're getting Virtual Boy. Genuinely wonder if people will try to play the other normal Switch games through the new Virtual Boy. I wonder if that'll be like a viable way to play like the VR mode in Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. You guys remember that? Like Nintendo put out Labo VR headset and then put out like a VR mode for Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. I don't remember if they did any other games for that, but do you want the game soundtrack to be as good as Yoshi's New Island Theme Platinum Edition on the new Yoshi game? Oh man, could it possibly measure up to such heights? Do these streams more? They're a hoot. You know, I should. This is fun. Lava was a thing. Okay, let's get back to the announcements. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, coming October 30th digital and December 12th physical. I've never played a Mortal Kombat game, but I did appreciate that the narrator or the announcer on the stream was like, "Get over here and check out Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection." I did love that, honestly. I'm glad that they did that. Can I beat Tears of the Kingdom through nothing but the Virtual Boy type of videos? That'll be fantastic. I hope someone does that. No Kazoo so far, good sign. Neil, what's up, dude? How are you doing? I'm doing great, Neil. How are you? Welcome to this Just Chatting stream. Talking about the Nintendo Direct from today. Or, well, depending on your time zone, yesterday. Hi, Yoshi fan. Hi! Hi! I really hope they fix the music for Mortal Kombat Trilogy and the loading times. Get over here! Is so iconic my family quotes it. None of us even play that game. That's fantastic. Okay, moving on. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate for Nintendo Switch 2 coming January 22nd. Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on that other than it's cool that Nintendo's getting that. A while after the other consoles, but yeah, it's neat. Sounds like there's some things to be a little disappointed in, like the spoilers in the trailer, but what can you do? Linked Banner of the Spark. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, Shadow Drop today. I don't remember what that was. Hades 2, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, September 25th, 2025 digital, and November 20th, 2025 for physical. Honestly, I didn't remember that Hades 2 wasn't out yet, but apparently it is a timed console exclusive and also available on PC. Other consoles will be getting it later, so okay. I mean, whatever. Whatever, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't really like roguelike games. Like, I bought one recently-ish. Okay, it was almost a year ago now. Jeez. When I bought my PS5, I got Returnal for it, but it's not something that I've played yet. It's like the game that I'm wanting to try out and see what I think about roguelikes. That's kind of my thing. Until then, I'm not really interested in any other roguelikes. Just, the concept doesn't really appeal to me, but I want to give it a chance, right? And I feel like Returnal seemed like an interesting first choice. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Face. How are you doing, friend? We're chatting about the Nintendo Direct. Best Virtual Boy game, Wario Land, is not going to be at launch. That's mind-blowing. They have 14 games available at launch. I'm like, there were 14 games for the Virtual Boy? And then I looked it up later, and apparently there were only 14 games in North America. 19 total, I think. I screamed inside, "It's a Nintendo miracle," after the Direct. I should make that a catchphrase. You should. That's a good catchphrase. You know what would be a Nintendo miracle is bringing prices back down to normal. This is the new normal. Get ready for one Virtual Boy game every 3 months. Yeah, they'll run out of games within like 15 months. I'm pretty tired, but good overall. How about you? Better than I deserve. That's a new saying that I like a lot. Better than I deserve. That's a Dave Ramsey quote. Anyway, let's get back to it. Kirby Air Riders plus Amiibo figures, Nintendo Switch 2, November 20th, 2025 for both the games and the Amiibo figures. I don't know if that was previously announced that it was coming in November. I think it probably was at the Sakurai Direct, but I never finished that Direct. It was just so much. And I was at work. But, the Amiibo figures, a really cool feature. You can, like, they're the Kirby characters on their vehicles, but you can swap the Kirby riders onto different vehicles. That'll show up in game too. That's so cool. I know it's not like a new technology, like that's been a thing before, but that's so cool. I love that. Like Starlink did something like that, I think. But man, I love that. That's such a cool feature. I'm pretty tired. Oh, I'm sorry. I already read that. Bandana Waddle Dee's first amiibo. Love to see it. Yeah, you do love to see it. I do too. It's very cool. Like I said earlier on the chat, those Air Rider amiibos are literally Skylanders all over again. Yeah! This is Brain Pick. It does look like they're doing it well, though. Nintendo is still making toys. I thought they did in the past only. Lol. I mean, they've been making amiibo for like 10 years now. Oh my goodness, you're right. First ever Bandana D amiibo. I forgot Planet Robobot just got random Waddle Dee. Oh man, there you go. Why aren't they releasing the Yoshi game for the 3DS? Why do they expect me to buy a Switch 2? I have a 3DS, not a Switch 2. Not keeping up with the times, friend. The Toys to Life revival we never thought we needed, says DV. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Alright, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Nintendo Switch 2, coming November 6th. Again, I don't know if we knew that release date before or not. I'm not really into Warriors games, but it looks kind of neat. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, apparently not the first Dragon Quest VII remake. Apparently there was one on 3DS and they're just like remaking her. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 coming February 5th, 2026. I don't really have much of an opinion on Dragon Quest VII, or Dragon Quest in general for that matter. But, you know, if you're into Dragon Quest, then it's kind of a cool announcement. I like it. It looks fun. Well, there wasn't really gameplay shown, was there? It looks interesting. Mario Galaxy Amiibo look peak, not $40 peak. Yeah. YouTube for some reason thinks that this is a Yoshi's New Island stream. Must be the music. I didn't set it up that way. I'm gonna refresh this. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't like auto-populate a game on my end. Interesting. It must be the music. Okay. Getting back to it. Nintendo Today actually is getting a new Kirby theme. That's cool. I just have the Mario theme. Probably gonna keep the Mario theme, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that Kirby's getting some love. I mean, he always gets love. It's Sakurai's baby. Of course he's gonna get some love. Speaking of Nintendo apps and online stuff, Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, Virtual Boy, is being added to the service. Who saw that coming? And like, they were making this big deal out of like the Virtual Boy handset or headset and all that. And they said that that was the only way you could play Virtual Boy games on the service, is if you have that accessory. What did I write down? I said, this looks like it will be an interesting experience. It supports both Switch 1 and Switch 2. That is interesting. Like, the actual hardware itself does support the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 consoles. So, that's actually pretty cool, I think. I don't care for Nintendo Alarmo. Yeah, no, I don't either. 14 games total. Yeah, again, like I said, North American Library was only 14 games, so given that we're not getting Wario Land at launch for the Virtual Boy, there's going to be some outside of North America region games included in that 14 count. Yeah, but Nintendo also says that the Switch 1 HDMI cable isn't compatible with the Switch 2, so I don't trust what they say. Well, it's not... Is it truly not compatible, like, will not function? Or is it just limited by the bitrate of the Switch 1's HDMI cord? Because not all HDMI cables are created equal. Like, you've got HDMI 1.4, you've got, or 1.2, you've got 2.0, 2.1. There's a bunch of different types, and it all has to do with throughput, like the bitrate that they can support. So I'd be shocked if the Switch 2 just straight up didn't function with a Switch 1 HDMI cord, but, you know, yeah, I know it would, like, I would not be shocked if it didn't perform optimally. Like, you need 4K 60 frames per second sort of bitrate, which I don't know what exactly that bitrate number is, but yeah, the HDMI cable that came with the Switch 1 definitely wouldn't do that. I think it's not perfect, but it works well enough. Their website just says not compatible. Okay. Yeah. Oh, how mandatory do we think the headset / cardboard accessory is for the Virtual Boy? I do want to at least play Wario Land. Yeah, I guess that remains to be seen. I'm not gonna get it, but I will be very curious to see what what people uncover on this. Like, can you actually still play the Virtual Boy games without the headset? Like you said, they did say you need it, but do you actually? And it's $100. $100. Unbelievable. Like, that's half the price that the thing came out at. Like, it came out at $180 back in the day, and it's $100 now for just the shell of it. It'd be kind of ridiculous if you couldn't, says DV. Yeah, agreed. With prices like that, you gotta be a dedicated fan of the Virtual Boy. All three of you guys, hop on it. Do you feel the new Yoshi game will cost $60, $70, or $80? My guess is 70, but I wouldn't be shocked if they sold it at 80, given Nintendo's greed recently. Not 60. Definitely not going to be 60. I think there's a cardboard version of the Virtual Boy. There is. Let me go to Nintendo Store. Nintendo Store Virtual Boy. Unbelievable that that's a thing I'm typing in here. Let's see. Can I switch over to the PC screen? Let's switch over to the PC screen, and I'm gonna switch it to display capture. Let me try this. Oh, whoops. PC screen. What? Where is it? Where's the thing? It's not working. Oh, I see, because it's full screen. Alright, well, let me, Okay, here we go. Jeepers, it does not want to work for me. Oh, that's why. I see. I'm gonna bring this up. We're gonna switch that over to the primary screen. There we go. Hey, I know how to use OBS. Transition over there. There we go. I know how to use OBS. Let's go. Here's the Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch 2. Look at that thing. Unbelievable that that's a thing we're getting here in the year 2026. That is unbelievable. It's so funny. Cardboard? Labo Virtual Boy? Yeah, that's a thing. Exclusive Nintendo Switch Online required. Let's shop again. I'm guessing it would be under hardware. There it is. $25 for the Virtual Boy cardboard thingy. Yeah, just like the Labo, it's basically just a handheld thing. So you could get this for $25. Look at that. Oh goodness, ew, Virtual Boy. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay. Going back to big camera. Look, guys, look! The Virtual Boy Ultimate Classic System! And in the live stream, Koizumi looked like he couldn't wait to get back in the thing. Yeah, funny joke, 5 months too late. I'm gonna be 6 as Blue's Cat. I'm gonna be sick of those prices. It makes the cardboard replica more affordable. Like, no one expected any of these games to get re-released, but now people can legally play them if they want. That counts for something in my book. Sure counts for something. Okay, let's, props to his eyes for not burning. Yeah, I mean, was he actually playing it? That's the question. It'll be interesting to see what goes down there, and if there's any updates like, hey, you can play this on a TV now. It'll be like, finally. I'm probably one of the few people who despises VR, says Mr. Face. I probably don't despise it as much as you do, but I definitely don't play it. Partly just because it's such an expensive thing to get into. Even just like the most affordable way to get into it is the Meta Quests. And even those are like $200 or $300, and they're not great. I've played a little bit of my sister-in-law's, but... and I had fun with it. I think it's fun enough. I don't think I despise it, but I'm still here. Don't worry, Jeff. Okay, thank goodness. I think I have fun enough with VR, but it's not something I'm like super into. If a new Yoshi game comes out and it's VR though, it'll suck, but I'll probably try it. All right, let's get back to it. Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly remake, Nintendo Switch 2, early 26. So that's a remake of Fatal Frame 2. I'm familiar-ish with the Fatal Frame games, but I don't really know enough about them to make like any informed judgments. So yeah, take that for what you will. Nintendo Switch 2 editions. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, Fall 2025. Overcooked 2, Holiday 2025. Stardew Valley, Fall 2025. And Human Fall Flat, Spring 2026. Please tell me these will be free upgrades for anyone who has these games on Switch 1. Please. Because the only thing that you're going to be increasing is like, well, resolution and frame rate, alright. But like, Switch to mouse controls. That's pretty much like the crux of it. Yeah, no, did Stardew Valley really need a Switch 2 edition? You can play it just fine on the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2. Mouse controls, I guess. I feel like you could have made that work without it being like its own edition. Like, just give a free upgrade. It better be a free upgrade. Human Fall Flat gets new levels, so I expect at least that one will be paid. Oh, okay. I didn't know about the new levels. Next announcement, Power Wash Simulator 2, Nintendo Switch 2, Fall 2025. Who was asking for a second one? But they will probably all be paid. Yeah, you're probably right. Epic Mickey needs a Switch 2 upgrade. I came across Epic Mickey for the Switch at Best Buy, and it was on sale for like $30. I thought about picking it up, but I just didn't have the cash in my discretionary funding, aka fun money for it, so I didn't. Suika Game Planet, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, winter 2025. I have 2026 in my notes, so it was 2025. So cool. I mean, I haven't played the Suika games, but looks like fun, like a fun little puzzle thing. Probably won't get it, but it looks fun enough. Since when was Epic Mickey on the Switch? Since like a year ago, friend. It's called Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Got an HD remaster on the Switch. Jeff, do these chatting streams more often. Fans love them, clearly, and this is sick. I'm having a lot of fun. I might just do that. This might end up being a regular occurrence at some point. Honestly, like, I don't really plan on doing them unless there's something to, like, sit down and just chat about. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm having fun. Okay. Next announcement was... I heard Rebrush was apparently super good. Yeah, I didn't hear anything bad about it, and sometimes no news is good news, right? I definitely want to get it at some point. Might be a Black Friday impulse buy for me, honestly. Going to currently use the stream as background noise while I complete a true arena. Go for it, Golden Guy. Go for it. True arena of which game, out of curiosity? He was saying he was playing the 3DS, so well, he said he had a 3DS. I don't want to make assumptions, because you know what they say about making assumptions. Anyway, if they don't mess up the new Yoshi game, it could be better than Yoshi's Island for the SNES. I don't think so. I think it'll be interesting, but I don't think it'll be better. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, we finally got a release date. Finally. It is coming out this year, December 4th, 2025. I'm stoked. And like, when the trailer first came up, I didn't even know it was for Metroid Prime 4. It didn't help that it was like on my phone screen on my desk, like a little ways away. Samus gets a motorbike. That's so cool. It looks like so much fun, and I can't wait to play that. Okay. Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective. I don't know what that is. Like, I saw that it was like, they had a picture of it, but is it like a book? Is it like a set of like videos that you watch to catch yourself up on the story? Like, what is it? Does somebody know? I want to get that amiibo of the motorbike. That motorbike amiibo looks sick. Is it a documentary? Says DB. I don't know. It looked part open world with the motorcycle. Yeah, I don't know what the limitations of that motorbike are gonna be, but I just know it looks sick. Alright, I actually want to try looking this up. So what is this? Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective. New art making of book. Okay, so apparently it's like a concept art book or something like that. The official art and making of Metroid Prime 1 through 3. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure we would have all preferred Metroid Prime 2 and 3 coming to the Switch. Weird that Prime 2 and 3 aren't on the Switch, but 1 and 4 are. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It definitely would have been better to have Prime 2 and 3 on the Switch. And I'm pretty sure at this point it's too late, and the fact that they put Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective, out there, kind of tells me that Primes 2 and 3 aren't coming. So, sadness ensues, but it is what it is, I guess. Samus and Samus Motorcycle are coming out, the amiibos are coming out on November 6th, 2025, and Psylux amiibo is coming out on the release date of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, December 4th, 2025. Conspiracy theory. Prime 4 has been done for 2 years, and they just wanted to make and release the Prime 4 amiibos at the same time as the game. Maybe. Wouldn't put it past them. Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC is next. DK Island and Emerald Rush for Nintendo Switch 2, obviously. And it was a shadow drop. You can buy it today. It is paid DLC. The main game demo is available today. So that's cool. The demo's available. Neato. I'll get back to the DLC in a little bit here. But suffice it to say, I thought that it looked pretty fun. The Emerald Rush, whatever. It makes me think of like the balloon minigame thing in Mario Odyssey, where you can go back to the kingdoms you've already gone through and like partake in challenges. Kind of made me think of that. DK Island looks more interesting to me. I don't know how much the DLC is. You know, I can look that up. DK Bonanza DLC price. There it is. $20. Donkey Kong Bonanza $20 DLC. What? Says someone on Reddit. I'm not shocked. Hey, the Yoshi Fanatic, did you hear of Bubsy 4D? I've heard about that. I have not looked into it. Hello, El Guapo Dad. Welcome to the stream. Don't care for DK's new island. I prefer the Returns Tropical Freeze DK Island. I mean, I was won over by the music, personally. I think the DK DLC is overpriced for what it is. I mean, everything Nintendo is overpriced for what it is, if we're being honest with ourselves. But, no, you're absolutely right. One of the new minigames in Wonder is whoever has the most lives wins. They have to one-hit Yoshi. Oh, man. Bubsy 4D unironically looks really fun. I have not looked into it. I've missed the DK Head Island. Didn't it have that on there? Hang on. DK Island Bonanza. Images. I mean, that looks like DK Head Island to me. Hang on, let me pull up the PC screen again. And we're gonna switch. There. Oh, hang on. Open a new tab. I should have had this beforehand. Open the image, a new tab. There you go. Looks like DK Head Island to me. It's obviously not the same. But you can definitely tell what they were going for. Returns and Tropical Freeze didn't have the DK head on the island. That's what I meant. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Alright. Back to big screen. Back to big camera. Funny enough, Yoshi is in the thumbnail in that minigame. Indeed, I saw that. I'm getting really tired, so I'm gonna try to go to sleep. Oh, Yasumi Nasai didn't chat much tonight because of that. No problem, LP. I appreciate that you've been hanging out. Have a good night. Have a good week. Hopefully we'll see you next time for more Silk Song. The music in Bonanza is a remix of the overworld of DK64. Yeah, that's what won me over, honestly. Gives off Mickey Mouse Clubhouse vibes. Bro makes his headquarters look just like him. Yeah, I mean, you guys know DK64, right? That was like the main island is DK Head. That's basically what it was. Oh no, you can't say DK's new island on a Yoshi-centric channel. It makes me think of a certain game. Yeah, the game that this music is associated with. Okay. Hang on. Okay, that's fine. Hi, Yoshi Fanatic. What do you think the new game's story would be and hopes? Says Wally. Welcome to the stream, Wally. Why don't you stick around for a little bit and we'll chat about that in a bit. Right now we're going through all the Nintendo Direct announcements that happened. But afterwards, and after a little bit of discussion, we're gonna go watch the Yoshi and the Mysterious Book trailer together, and I'll give you my thoughts then. Welcome to the stream, though. What did you think of the Direct? Silksong Switch 2 upgrade is free. It had better be. Kudos for Team Cherry, honestly. Good job, guys. Hey, that's a good reason for me to have picked it up on Switch 1 instead of Steam. I mean, yeah. I like how you put the main event at this end. It feels like a boxing undercard. There you go. Yeah. Hang out, and we'll get to it at the end. No, I don't know. I just thought it felt the most fitting to wrap up with that. Just like us in 4 years in that cage match is on. I hope we get a Yoshi themed attraction in Super Nintendo World. I mean, there already is one, isn't there? Like, at the other two there is. Like, it's the Yoshi ride, where you just ride on Yoshi through the different Yoshi-themed locales. I bet in the next 5 years there's gonna be a Super Nintendo Switch 3 console with Yoshi's Claymation Adventure 2. Wouldn't put it past him, but I think 5 years is a little too soon. Give a sick announcement like, now for what you've been waiting for! And it's just a guy watching a trailer. True. And for the main event, he's not mean, but he is green. It's Yoshi! Definitely. There you go, Kyle. Thank you. Alright, let's get back to it. Pokemon announcements. Pokemon Pokopia is like a Dragon Quest Builders sort of situation, but with Pokemon. It was funny that Ditto is the main character. Kind of like that. Bro, you have a good announcer voice. Thank you. It destroys my throat. Pokemon! JJ has been getting into the Pokemon cartoons lately. Honestly, yeah, that was a good announcer voice. Thanks, guys. It hurts. Pokemon Legends ZA, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, October 16th, 2025. And paid DLC, Mega Dimension, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, on the same day and day release, paid DLC. I'll get back to that. Danganronpa 2x2. I have no idea how I'm supposed to say that. I know it's a Japanese title. Danganronpa. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, 2026. If I'm not mistaken, that was already a thing. It's just like re-release and like new content or something, right? Yoshi, there's shrimp on sale in the next exit. What if Nintendo has preschool cartoons like for Animal Crossing? Ooh, that'd be nice. Honestly, that's a good idea. Resident Pokemon fan over here. Yes, it was hype for us, says J-Dog. Nice. Dynasty Warriors Origins and paid DLC coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on January 22nd, 2026. More paid DLC day and day. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflections, Nintendo Switch 2 on March 13th, 2026. I believe that's a new game. That's pretty cool. I've heard that the reception of those has been pretty positive. So yeah, hopefully the trend continues. Okay, I'm gonna blast through these last few. Sizzle Reel. So 2 Point Museum coming to Switch 2 October 28th. Disgaea 7 Complete, Nintendo Switch 2 October 10th, 2025. EA Sports FC 26. I don't know what FC means. Yeah, I don't know. Feel free to like put it in the chat. Jeff, you're dumb. FC stands for this. I have no idea. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, September 26th. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, Nintendo Switch 1, and hey, SKA Arts, welcome to the stream. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you, friend. Football Club, it's a soccer game. Okay, Football Club, that makes sense. I know it was a soccer game, but yeah, yeah. Thank you though. New name of FIFA. Oh, okay. I was gonna say FIFA, like that sounds right to me, but then I don't want to sound like a dummy. Okay. So Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, October 30th. It feels like we've known about that one for a while, it just hasn't come out yet. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage, Nintendo Switch 2, Winter 2026. Okay. Lego Voyagers, Nintendo Switch, September 15th, so like next week. Actually, that comes out on, yeah, Monday. Little Nightmares 3, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, October 10th, just in time for Halloween. And Persona 3 Reload, Nintendo Switch 2, October 23rd, 2025. Like Arsenal FC is the Arsenal Football Club, the EA game is EA Sports Football Club. It's a sort of weird name. Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. Appreciate that. Next is Resident Evil games. We got quite a bit here. Resident Evil 9 is coming to Nintendo Switch. And Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, and Village 8 are also coming to Switch 2. They're Switch 2. They're all coming to Switch 2, not Switch 1. On February 27th next year. That's big, man. Those games are pretty demanding, so it's cool to see them coming onto the Switch 2. I'm not really into Resident Evil, so it is what it is, but yeah, cool for people who are big fans. I know there's a lot of them. I know Resident Evil is a popular franchise, and 7 and 8 seem to have been very well received. The trailer for Requiem definitely looked like, well, I think it's going to follow that trend. Game idea, Yoshi's charges. The IRS arrests Green Yoshi for 21 years of tax fraud, killing a child, and being in a game that's for kids, yet has a beach ball pingus in it. So the other Yoshis have to save up for bail? Okay, anyway, Fire Emblem Fortunes of Weave. And there's an apostrophe in there, I need to add an apostrophe. Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave, Nintendo Switch 2, 2026. So the other Yoshis have to save him. You know, honestly, El Guapo Dad, take out any of the IRS arresting stuff and substitute out, like, Bowser for the IRS. And, like, just have him kidnap him for whatever reason. Do you say Fortunes of Weeb? No. Fortunes Weave. So I guess the idea is, like, it's like an Octopath Traveler situation where there's, like, multiple different characters that have their own storylines, and they kind of, like, weave together at the end, or in the culmination of, like, the, Coliseum or whatever it is. That seems to be what the deal is. I loved Fire Emblem Three Houses. I played Fire Emblem Engage. I'm not certain how I feel about this new one. We'll have to see. Right. Yeah, agreed. I'm not the biggest Fire Emblem fan. My first Fire Emblem game... What was my first Fire Emblem game? I think it was Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. Alright, well, my first true experience with Fire Emblem was Fire Emblem Awakening demo on the 3DS. And then I got interested in it, and I went to GameStop like that week and found a copy of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, which is like the DS remake of the original game. And I played that, really enjoyed it. Got Fire Emblem Awakening, played that a lot. A lot. I think it was like one of my most played games on my 3DS. I have my 3DS here. Let me check how many hours I have in the game. Right now, the character design is throwing me off. The thing that threw me off the most was like the lip syncing, but that's just been a thing for Fire Emblem games for, well, ever since I got voice acting. But anyway, I'm gonna pull up my 3DS here, and I'm gonna see how many hours I have in Awakening. It's some ridiculous number. Haven't tried Shadow Dragon. It looks fun, and Tiki's in it, so it has to be at least good. Yeah, Tiki's in a lot of them, isn't she? I think she was even in the ending of, or the end part of that trailer for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Whoa, nice! Yoshi new 3DS. Heck yeah, dude! I actually imported these faceplates from Japan. Had to, like they weren't available here in the States because this model wasn't available in the States. It's a small new 3DS. You could only get it in like special editions, and that's how I got it. Oh yeah, Yoshi's story music. I love it. That epic cutscene with the Raichus made me think it was some kind of Pikachu Metroidvania, but it was just DLC for Legends. That's right, yep. Well, as I said earlier in the chat, currently doing Robobot True Arena, and Star Dream Soul is next. Time to die in 2 seconds. All in the fight. Yep. As someone who did not get like I tried and failed to get through the True Arena. To explain the main Pokemon hype from us, the 3 new Megas that were they showed off were Pokemon who deserved Megas for years, and Raichu, Pikachu's overlooked evolution, finally gets love with 2 separate Megas. In conclusion, the designs are all really good, and all the Pokemon who got them were ones long deserving of the attention. That's basically it in a nutshell, just to put it in perspective. That's fair. I didn't even realize that Raichu's Mega Evolutions weren't done before. Like, I saw that they were like X and Y, like, for their themes, and I thought like it was gonna be like remakes of Pokemon X and Y or something. That just shows you what I know. No, that was a different character named Sothis. She looks a ton like Tiki though, so understandable mistake, unless I missed something. Okay, yeah, totally didn't know. Hi, Jeff. Been quiet because I've been suffering with COVID chills this stream. I'm sorry to hear that, Aurora. I hope you get well soon, friend. COVID is no fun. I remember when I first got it. It was like April 2021. Such a weird feeling, man. Like, the biggest thing for me was, well, one, lethargy, I guess. Got tired from walking up the stairs. It was weird. But also, like, I lost my sense of smell for like a month. I'd gone and got my, I'll get back to the whole 3DS thing in a minute. But I remember I had gone and gotten my test done like a day or two before, and I was working from home. I had a beef stew going that day. And the night before it was that night, at like 9 p.m. or something like that, that I received my diagnosis, but before that, I was making the beef stew. And like, I was smelling around it, and I'm like, Sky, I don't think that I can smell this beef stew. And she goes, oh, Jeff, it's all in your head, you're just over worrying. And then we get the diagnosis in, and it was positive. And the funny thing is, I had scheduled with my friends from Volatile Upgrade, or the Gaming Corner podcast, that night to meet on Discord, like we always did, and record an episode of the Gaming Corner podcast. I don't remember which episode of the Gaming Corner podcast it was, but yeah, one of those episodes I had COVID. I'm actually doing relatively well. I've always had a good immune system. That's good, Aurora. Well, again, I hope that you do get well soon, friend. Game idea 2, Yoshi's Time Machine. Yoshi builds a time machine, but Kamek steals it. But Baby Bowser messes it up because he dropped the cereal on the machine, so now time is messed up. That's actually not a terrible idea, El Guapo Dad. I kind of like that idea. You won't die to Star Dream Soul in 2 seconds. You'll just die in 10 minutes because the fight is so long and it's hardest right at the end. Oh, I just got COVID. Got over COVID. Prayers up. I was sick for over a week just a few days ago. It was the worst feeling. It says Solar Flare. Yeah, COVID's no fun. Man, COVID sucks. I had it in like 2024, but I'm better now. Hope you guys feel better. Says El Guapo Dad. I don't know if I've had COVID again since. Like, I've kind of treated it just like a minor respiratory illness at this point. Like, it pretty much is. Fever chills are the worst. Closest feeling to what I imagine having a seizure like. Genuinely no control over your own body, says J-Dog. Yeah, fair. Alright, I gotta get back to finding the, my playtime. Yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening, right there. 309 hours, with an average playtime per session of 57 minutes. There you go. I don't know if you can read that. This camera doesn't have autofocus. It's the Elgato face cam. 309 hours. It is my most played game on the 3DS. First time played February 24th, 2013, and I last played it August 11th, 2016. I haven't played that in quite some time. Wow. And apparently, like, I started playing Shadow Dragon, like, 3 weeks before that. I'm shocked, but wow, I'm glad you liked it, says Kyle. Yeah, I really liked Fire Emblem Awakening. I didn't like the next game as much. Like, it was, what was it? It was, Fire Emblem Fates, and I got Birthright, and then I got, what was the other one called? Conquest. I got Conquest as, like, it was like that weird thing where, like, one was DLC for the other. Depending on which version you bought, you could get the other one as DLC. Tiki's in that one too, so it's cool. Jeff, I'm going to bed. To keep watching the stream, don't worry, I'll never leave. Okay, awesome. What was the other one? Like, okay, I know I played a lot of Kid Icarus Uprising on this, so let's check to see how much I played that. Drop the stylus. Kid Icarus Uprising is my second most played. Not shocked at all. 211 hours and 30 minutes in Kid Icarus Uprising. Played that, first played it March 26th, 2012. And, last played... Wow, I haven't played a lot of these since, like, 2016. It was, November 27th, 2016. Whoa, says El Guapo Dad. Never would have thought you'd love an RPG so much, says Aurora. I guess it was mostly just because I had more time to play those games at that time. I remembered I played it a lot in college. I remember, like, sitting at the laundromat or the laundry room on campus, waiting for my laundry to get done, and I was just playing this, like, the whole time. Like, it wasn't in the laundromat. See, like, at my college, there was a complex that, it was a dorm complex made of 4 different buildings, with, like, a common area in the center, and the laundry room was there. And right below that laundry room is that it was called the Mac Shack is what we called it. That's the restaurant that I went to and almost died of food poisoning. Just if anybody's up to snuff on their Jeff lore. If not, I can retell the story, I don't mind. But long story short, I was sitting there in the like outside of the laundromat where the vending machines were, and I think I had gotten like a Reese's Fast Break because I love Reese's Fast Breaks. And I was playing it then. And, yeah, I don't know why that's such a vivid memory for me. Nothing, like, super memorable happened, but I do remember playing Fire Emblem Awakening while waiting for my laundry to get done at the college. So there you go. Not the Mac Shack! Retell it, the new gens have not heard it. Don't want to make it a Fire Emblem stream, just real quick. Did you have any favorite characters in Awakening? Just curious. It's been so long since I played it that I don't remember all the characters, but I thought that it was all a really good cast. I think I really liked one of the Pegasus Knights. I forget what her name was. She was like the head of like this Pegasus Knight group. It's actually the character I had my avatar marry. Chrom was really cool. I really liked Chrom. Lucina as well. I guess those are like my top 3. I don't remember what her name was. She had like red hair. But I don't remember what her name was. Anyway. Cordelia. That sounds right. Let me check. Awakening. Cordelia. Yeah, that's her. Yep. Cordelia. I guess I could bring up a picture. Here. PC screen display capture. PC screen. That was the character I had my avatar marry in Fire Emblem Awakening. Cool, thanks, says Kyle. No problem. Yeah, she was pretty cool. I think I just really liked the Pegasus Knights. Thought they were awesome. Back to big camera. Starla, did you say Super Mario or Shadow? Did you say Super Mario? Yeah, I love Reese's Fast Breaks too! Yeah, they're the best! Honestly, if they weren't so expensive, I'd probably get them more often. I'm willing to hear this food poisoning story if you want, says Kyle. Sure. Yeah, we'll try to make it a quick recap, just because, I've had so much fun, but, like, it's been an hour and a half, and I probably shouldn't keep you guys up too late, right? Okay, so, like I was saying, that complex that dorm complex I lived in for the first 2 years of college, there was this common area in the middle of those 4 buildings, where the laundromat was. There was vending machines, and like in the lower level under the laundromat was this restaurant that served like burgers, wraps, and that kind of stuff, like, and we all called it the Mac Shack. And if being underneath a laundromat isn't concerning enough, I don't know, like, it was a little dingy in there. It was super sketch, I'm not gonna lie, but they had some good food. I really liked their buffalo chicken wraps. Well, one night, I was hungry. As a college student is often, I was hungry. And I'm like, you know, I could really go to Mac Shack for something. And I went down there, I think it was like 8 p.m. or something like that. And I went down there and I thought, you know what sounds really good right now is a tuna wrap. A tuna wrap sounds really good to me right now. So I ordered the tuna wrap, took it back up to my dorm room. At that time I had, I'd gotten a dorm room that was like, it was like the deluxe room, I guess. I paid like $500 extra for that semester and got a big room all to myself. I loved it. Because the first year, my roommate was a bit of a weirdo. Like, not like in a bad way. He was just kind of the awkward kind of guy. He was a senior in architecture. Very often skipped class and sat at his desk pretty much the rest of the time and ate bags of salt and vinegar chips and asked me about aliens. That's the kind of weird that guy was. Yeah, but he wasn't like a bad guy or anything, whatever. I decided though I wanted my own room, so I had my own room. I took my my tuna wrap back up there, and I ate it, and it must have sat out like all night or something like that. It was the end of the day. It was a tuna wrap. I don't think they refrigerated the tuna salad properly enough. And lo and behold, around 10 or so, I am just vomiting, like awfully vomiting, to the point where, like, you can tell I'm not like a super pale guy. Like, I have vitiligo, so there's parts of me that are a little bit more pale than others, but for the most part, I am not a pale individual. I was ghostly white. I was dry heaving. It was awful. And fortunately, like, you know, my girlfriend of the time came up to the dorm room. She was going to the same college as me. She came up to my dorm room to like keep an eye on me and make sure that I was going to be okay. And she eventually convinced me to call an ambulance because it was bad, man. So I called an ambulance. I got an ambulance ride to the hospital. And there they like put me on an IV and all that to make sure I didn't get overly dehydrated. My mom ended up coming and picking me up, or coming over to the hospital, staying with me, and then taking me back to my family's house. and so that I could recover there. And I ended up being fine after that, but needless to say, I did not go to class the next day. I skipped class. I was playing hooky. I'm like, sorry, I almost died to a tuna wrap. I guess I'm not coming to class today. So, yeah, that is my food poisoning story from college. I wonder where Salt and Vinegar guy is now. He's probably at an architecture firm. Did you have to pay double rent? I did have to pay an extra $500. I did have to pay an extra $500 for the semester, but totally worth it. Was this the state school or the better school you went to? The state school. I'm personally enjoying the amount of depth. Let's see. Where did I... Okay. A single tuna wrap was ambulance worthy. What did they do to you? It was awful, man. Ghostly white. I was ghostly white. If you went to class the next day, I'd be mad at you. Yeah, no, I recovered. I was fine. But I don't think I've had a tuna wrap since. It's not like I'm against tuna wraps, but it's like when we made pesto pizza here at the house a few years ago, and then the next night, or that night, ended up coming down with a stomach bug. This might be a bit of a like TMI sort of thing, but let me just tell you, pesto pizza sauce does not taste nearly as good coming up as it does going down. It is not the same experience at all. It's awful. Dang, one tuna wrap did that? Yes, sir, it did. Yes, sir, it did. I had a huge ear infection and couldn't hear out of one ear for on the first day of classes once. That sucks. Really sucks. But yeah, there you go. Yo-Yo says oil guzzler clanker. Okay. Welcome to the stream, I guess. But yeah, there you go. There's all you didn't want to know about Jeff's food poisoning story. Okay. Awesome story. Sorry it happened, but fun to hear it, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm like, oh my goodness, how long ago was that? It was, I think it was like winter semester or fall semester 2013. Yeah, I think it was fall semester 2013. Yes. Yeah, so it's been nearly 12 years. So I don't know if dramatic is the word I'd use for it, but I'm far enough removed from it that it's kind of fun to tell in retrospect. Bro, Jeff, you already said that, so now it won't be TMI because you said it. I once ate Kraft dinner while sick and refused to throw up because I knew how bad it tastes. Yeah, and just the sensation of the noodles coming back up because, like, you barely chew those things. You're old, Unk. Yeah, I know. I know. 12 years ago, I was in my sophomore year of college. 12 years ago, most of you guys were like toddlers, probably. Okay, I shouldn't say most of you, but I know at least a couple of you were. Man, the stream is just talking about sicknesses. It says El Guapo Dad. That's kind of part of a just chatting stream, right? This will really add to the Jeff lore. Yes. As a kid, I vomited and saw it being made up of SpaghettiOs, and afterward, I refused to eat SpaghettiOs for years. Yep. This is my favorite stream in a while, says Solar Flare. Yeah, it's like your favorite part of Jeff's streams. Just talking. You find out your life is Jacob's Ladder, but tuna wrap. Oh, what a sad realization. Like, imagine if that's the thing that got me. Like, not old age, not like some lunatic shooting me or something. No, tuna wrap. Imagine that being the way I went. I don't know. Any other times you nearly died? No, I don't think so. I mean, I drove into a ditch once, but I wouldn't count that as like nearly dying. No, I don't think so. There was a time I broke my arm, but that's also not nearly death worthy. I think that was the closest and only time I've really come close to like death. What? Story. It's not much of a story, really. But I can tell. Throwing up was the scariest thing for me when I was a kid. Still is now. I hate throwing up. I really do. Jeff at the end blesses with a new story. A new story? I don't know about new story, but I'll tell you this one that I've told you before and apparently you've forgotten. I've almost choked from eating too fast, says J to the P Moreno. The Yoshi Fanatic story. There you go. Jeff's story only for Nintendo 64. The driving a ditch story should be saved for next stream. Never spoil us too much. You guys are worth spoiling. I love that you guys have been here for the whole time. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. The things I hated the most from my sickness was that I had to sleep the whole day during my sister's vacation, and it was on spring break, so I couldn't even miss school. Oof. Closest I've been to death was throwing up on in my sleep and not waking up until a little bit was in my lungs. If I stayed asleep, I would have choked. Ugh. That's awful. No, okay, so driving into a ditch. That the first and only time I've ever driven into a ditch, but it was quite... I think I'm gonna have to bring up the old Microsoft Paint for this. Because, like, I gotta illustrate it. So anyway, it was wintertime. I was coming home from college for the weekend because back then, I was going to that same college that I ate the tuna wrap and almost died at. So I was coming home from that one winter weekend. Like I always came home on the weekends, right? And it was snowy. Like, this is New York weather we're talking about. The winters, especially back in 2013 to 2014, when I would have been going that way. It was bad. Like, the roads were quite bad. And especially out where I grew up, where my family's house was, it was extremely rural. Like, we're talking a town of 500 people or less is where I grew up. And you'd better believe that in that county, they did not have much budget for plows. It was pretty bad. Very slushy. And let's go over to Microsoft Paint here now so that you can kind of get the point. Maybe I should like full size this. All right. So it was very rural. It was slushy roads. And there's this bend that like, it's like this pretty slick turn here. And I thought, you know, I'm only going like 55. I'll be fine. Turns out I was not fine. Because like alright, I'm gonna try and draw a little ditch here because like this is about where the ditch is. Something like that. And like there's these signs like here, like the chevrons, right? Like your normal chevrons going around a turn. Okay, so and I hate to like give this away already, but like there's a T here, there's a three-way intersection. So there's the road, right? So I'm driving along. I'm coming to, there's this hill right before this. It goes down, so you're already going pretty fast if you're not being very careful. So I'm like, oh, I've grown up out here. Like I know these roads. I'll be fine. Turns out I was not. So I was driving along, and I go to turn. I go to turn. I was not turning. I'm not turning. So then I go off the road here. Just barely miss the chevrons, go into the ditch, and by some miracle continued and then came up onto this road right here. That is where I stopped, just barely missing the caution signs for this ditch here, right? Like I came up, I missed the chevron signs, went into the ditch, came out of the ditch, and popped up on the road after going right between these two caution signs. That was miraculous. Just as miraculous, though, is the fact that being in the middle of nowhere, there was no traffic, so I didn't like slam into anyone. I just ended up like parked here for a couple minutes, and I'm like, oh, that just happened. But my guardian angel was with me that day for sure. There's no way I could have ever pulled off that maneuver if I tried. Miracle of God that I went into the ditch and came out and landed there. And the worst thing that happened was like an ancillary part of my car fell off and onto the road. I wasn't hurt. The airbags didn't deploy. I didn't run into anyone else's car. I didn't get stuck. I was fine. Huge miracle. So there you go. There's the story about how I went into a ditch and learned to mind the road in the wintertime. Do not be stupid like Jeff. Do not drive around a corner like this that's like a 35-mile-an-hour curve at 55 mile an hour on slushy roads. Don't do it. God tier RNG. Yeah, definitely. So there you go. How'd you like that Microsoft Paint illustration, by the way? Dang, Jesus must have liked your content to spawn that Dutch at an empty road. Yeah, I spawned that ditch at an empty road. Yeah, I wasn't even making content at the time. Not even volatile upgrade. This is pre-volatile upgrade that this happened. My death story. Choked on a gummy worm once when I was alone. Genuinely felt like I was gonna die. Did the procedure over the sink, hacked it out, and ate it again. Don't judge me. Gross. Also, if you were to go due to a gummy worm, that's way more humiliating than going by tuna wrap. My goodness. Oh, anyway. My goodness. I think everyone should get the experience of sliding on ice during driver's education just to spook them. Everyone could use it. Honestly, that's a good take. I like that. It's a good idea. Like, take them out to a barely plowed parking lot, empty, and just slush around and be like, yeah, you feel that you're not in control? Drive slow in the winter, kids. All right, let's get back to big camera mode, because that was fun. I'm sorry, but I judge your self-preservation instincts to still eat it afterwards. You're judging just the self-preservation instincts? Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I didn't expect that we were going to get basically a full-length live stream out of this. Those drawings were unexpected, lol, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yeah, it was unexpected for me, too. I didn't know I was going to tell that story tonight. There was one time it hailed and made ice on the grass in my area. First time? Being here in New York State, I see a lot of snow. Although not in recent years. It's been a lot less crazy the last few years. Like, I've only had to shovel my driveway a few times over the last couple of years, like in total. So, yeah. Global warming or climate change or whatever, but like, I don't have to shovel my driveway as much now. So, silver lining. Please, bro, please, where are my Robux at? I don't know. You gotta go find them, friend. I've only experienced snow twice in my entire life, says DV. You know, there was one blizzard that happened the year before I was born, but my parents kept pictures of it. You guys know those guardrails when you're like going over like a creek or something like that? Like, the guardrails are they're only like 2 or 3 feet high, but I remember looking at pictures of the absolute chaos that was the blizzard of '93, the year before I was born. Those guardrails were completely buried on the road. Whoa, what a blowout. My high school's football team won 81-7. That's insane. 81 in a football game is nuts. Wow. That's awesome. You know, if it means anything, tell them the Yoshi Fanatic said congratulations. That's quite the win. Quite the victory. Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. But we do have one thing that we're supposed to do today, and I still want to do it. We are going... Oh, wait, hang on. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about before we do that. I'm getting really into this just chatting stream, I gotta tell you. Anyway, there was at least one thing I wanted to mention here. With the Nintendo Direct announcements, the fact that there were at least 3, if not more games than that, that have DLC, paid DLC, dropping on the same day as the actual game itself. Okay, only like 2 of those, but like third is DK Bonanza. Okay, DK Bonanza is getting paid DLC, like it got it today. Or I guess at the time that we're chatting now, it was like technically yesterday, depending on what time zone you're in. But like, Bonanza came out less than 2 months ago, and here we are getting $20 DLC for it. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, I mean, it looks fun, but this would be like if you played Mario Odyssey, and 2 months later, paid DLC came out and you could pay $20 to get the Mushroom Kingdom as DLC. 2 months, really? This couldn't have just been in the game? That's Nintendo greed on a whole new level. So there's no reason that shouldn't have just been in the game, or like a free update. Remember when Nintendo used to do those free updates? Pokemon's is $30. Pokemon's is $30, and that's worse because like Pokemon Legends ZA comes out on October 16th, and so does its DLC. Its paid $30 DLC is coming out on the same day as Pokemon Legends ZA. That is atrocious. Again, that should have just been in the game. There's absolutely no reason it couldn't have been in the game. I am appalled that any game comes out with DLC, same day and day release, that you pay for. That's absurd. There's no excuse for that. None. Absolutely none. Other than just greed. Pokemon's isn't releasing on the same day, by the way. Oh, is that not the case? The Pokemon Company is even more greedy than Nintendo. It's in my notes, J-Dog. I don't know if that's true. It's coming later, but it was simply shown off early. Hang on. Pokemon Legends ZA DLC release date. Okay, yeah, you're right. Main game release October 16th, 2025. February 28th, 2026 is the DLC story release. Okay, you're right. You're right, but still. $30 DLC is atrocious. Okay, so it's like it's 4 months removed. That's still ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. That's horrible though. Why plan paid DLC? Agreed. 100% agreed. Is Pokemon's not on the same day? If so, apologies. Yeah, no, apparently not. My bad. I could have sworn it was in the Direct that it was October 16th. Maybe I was just wrong. I don't know. My bad, but still, that's ridiculous. Fire Emblem Echoes and Engage both also came out with Day 1 DLC, and while I respect both games, I wasn't happy about either and never got either one. I don't blame you. And then the other one that had paid DLC, day and day release, Dynasty Warriors Origins with paid DLC on January 22nd, 2026. Oh, it's okay. I was also very confident Pokemon's was on the same day. Whoops. Yeah. I could have sworn it was in the Direct. Are we sure that it wasn't in the Direct? I feel like it was. I feel like I'm Mandela affecting myself here. I appreciate that you bring this DLC thing up though, because it was something that was sticking with me too. There was a lot of like paid DLC mentioned in this Direct. And you guys know how I feel about DLC. I don't like it. I really don't. And the fact that we're getting it day and day release and it's paid DLC and it's like half the price of the $20 for the DK Island plus Emerald Rush in Donkey Kong Bonanza is appalling. Like $10 would have felt like ouch. But it's like one extra area and then like one extra minigame mode. That's not $20, fam. The game was $70. Are you gonna sit here and tell me that the DLC is worth like just under a third of the game's like original cost? No, absolutely not. I like DLC when it's worthwhile, says JP. I think I would like DLC if it's either a free upgrade or a reasonable price, and B, if I come to it, or if I come to the game after the DLC's already come out, because I hate coming back to a game that I've already played that got DLC, because it's like, I gotta get back re-ensconced in the game, might have to relearn how to play it, and by that point, I just don't care. And it just feels like jarring to like, oh, all of a sudden, there's this extra area. Even if it's free, it's jarring. I really don't like that. Upselling is real, says Aurora, and it sucks. You can use those same dollars to buy an entire indie game with the Spider-Girl. Yeah, exactly. An entire amazing game of the year contender for sure, is the same price as one world in Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC. And I get it, Silksong is an outlier, it's an indie game. You can't really compare the indie games to the AAA games. Can we? I feel like the AAA games are just over bloated at this point. Like, way too big for what they actually are. Like, you take this indie game that's made by 3 people, and it's like sells millions and has an amazing reception. It's a great game. And then you got the slop that AAA companies are coming out with, like, on an every other year basis. With hundreds of people working on it and millions of dollars in market and budget and all that. Unbelievable. Who's gonna win Game of the Year? DK, Silksong, or Expedition 33? I don't think it's gonna be Donkey Kong. I mean, it's possible. I want to say Expedition 33. I don't know. Between Expedition 33 or Silksong, I don't really know. Silksong sweeps, no question, says DV. I will say that was the most anticipated game for sure, and the hype was real, build-up was awesome, and came out and it delivered, man. Remember the Wii days? Remember when games were good? Good price? Heck, they sold 500 Wii's for free one time. That's amazing. Have you played Expedition 33? I haven't. Mario Kart World should get free DLC with that price. Yeah, but it won't. You know it won't. If they did that with Donkey Kong, which was $70, that should have been a free update. That should have been in the game to begin with. In fairness, Mario Kart's potential DLC is going to take a lot more effort than Donkey Kong's, considering how enormous tracks are. I don't know. I guess that depends on how crazy they go with the DLC. Like, if they like make double the tracks like they did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even if most of them were from Mario Kart Tour, that's still a lot of work. I think that was worth the money, personally. Nintendo thinks they own mechanics now. Yeah, I saw that. That's unbelievable. At the end, tell us one more story after the main event. I don't know if I can do that, Solar Flare. I don't know if I can. Yo, if this is spam, please stop. ZA might be different because it's more of a spin-off than a full new gen. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of DLC. There was a lot of DLC in this Direct. And the prices of it all. Speaking of price, the Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Reminder, it is the Nintendo Switch game, not a Switch 2 game. Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. Together, one collection. $70. 70 buckaroonies for Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. There was a time on the Wii U Virtual eShop, or the on the eShop and the Virtual Console, you could get both of those games for $20 at one point. And that was like when the Wii games were first coming to the Virtual Console. I remember I got Metroid Prime Trilogy for $10. And now here we are several years later. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on one collection, $70. Or $40 if you want to buy each one separately. Unbelievable. It's a Switch 1 game. It should be $50 first off. Nintendo knows it'll sell. It's Mario Galaxy, one of the most beloved Mario games. It's gonna sell. Okay. J-Dog says, I missed part of his comment. Pokemon, for the most part, is less bad with DLC, because it's usually hyped for an entire year and is used as an extension and takes proper place as the Pokemon game that year. ZA might be different because it's more of a spin-off than a full new gen. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it sounds more reasonable when you put it that way for the mainline games. Nintendo simply charged the most people are willing to pay for it. Simple as that, sadly. Rare exceptions like Metroid Prime Remake. Yeah, I still don't understand why that sold for $40. That could have easily been $60. I appreciate that it was $40. Jeff, you don't understand. Nintendo's a poor, starving indie company. Yeah, I know. Today we're upping the price from $400 to $600. We need a pool for our backyard plus the gamer tax. Yup. Nintendo greed is real, friends. Jeff, it joined YouTube today. Can I ban this guy? Like within the last hour. I don't know. I'd say give him one more chance. If he spams one more time, he's out of here. Wario Land 6 would be $90. Probably. Hey Jeff, do you have anything bad to say or something that worries you about the new Yoshi game? I'm gonna get to it, don't you worry. Actually, I think now would probably be a good time. Let me cool down just a little bit. I want to come back down from my like hyper attitude of like, oh, DLC and price is bad. Because I do feel those things, and I'm not going to stop feeling those things. I do think that Nintendo is price gouging us with DLC games and consoles at this point. It is kind of funny that the Switch 2 is now the only console, like the only mainstream console on market right now that hasn't gone up in price since it came out. Because the Switch 1 went up in price. The Xbox Series systems went up in price. The PlayStation 5 went up in price. Nintendo Switch 2 is the only one that hasn't, ironically. Maybe that's just because they priced it so high out the get-go. It will probably will in like half a month. What will? Hang on. People buy it, Nintendo charges more. Solar flare. I saw this solar flare. A DM. I'm gonna have to pull it over here. Display capture. Let's switch over to PC screen for a second. This giant jacked buff guy with the, like, he looks sad, like he's gonna cry, like someone punched his puppy. Says, just found out my girl tried to violate Nintendo's intellectual property rights by making a fan game. I'm gonna be sick. Yes, thank you for sharing, Solar Flare. Alright. Alright, Solar Flare, you have my permission now. That's a good one. Hey Jeff, can you check out my comment about Splatoon 2? Yeah, 1 second. You're really patient, Jeff. If someone posts nonsense right away in my streams, I impulse ban on my gut. Well, I kind of do like a 3 strikes and you're out sort of thing. Admittedly, like, I just haven't been reading his stuff, so I've let it slide, but yeah, no. This back and forth between Mr. Yo-Yo and, Wefu. No. timeout for now. Yeah, you know what? That's a good compromise. By the way, Jeff, I don't really watch it, but I've heard you've seen the other 2 seasons. Have you seen the season 3 announcements for One Punch Man? I've heard it's coming out next month. The announcement trailers were a little bit underwhelming. I don't really care about like all the details on who's composing the music and whatnot. Maybe I'm a fake fan for that. I don't know, but I'm very excited for season 3 to come out. I've read the manga up through like most of the recent chapters, but they've been doing so many like what do they call them? When you take something back that's canon, but you're like, it starts with an R. For some reason, I can't think of the name, or I can't think of the title. Why can't retcon? Kyle, thank you, retcon. I just got it right before I read your message. Yeah, there's been a lot of retcons in the manga recently, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I'll figure it out, and I'll come back. But yeah, I'm very excited to see the Monster Association arc on the screen. That'll be great. I need to read JP's comment about Splatoon. Also, how is there still no news on Splatoon Raiders? I don't think it's coming this year, like they said it would. Yeah, when did they say it was supposed to come out? I guess they just said 2025, didn't they? Yeah, you'd figure that they'd have more to share on it in today's hour-long direct, right? What's a retcon again? A retcon is when they do take backsies on a story because like, you know, they write themselves into a corner and they're like, oh shoot, we take it back. This didn't happen, that stuff didn't happen. Like when they say like that didn't happen, that's a retcon. Okay. Hey Jeff, is there something? Oh, yeah, I'll get to that. Retroactive continuity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds about right. That's actually what retcon is short for, is retroactive continuity. Okay. There's multiple of them. Yeah. Thank you, Solar Flare. Okay. But yeah, I'm excited for One Punch Man season 3. I probably won't talk about it like a ton on here, but just know that I will be watching it. I'll probably be watching it with Sky too. Like I actually got her to watch seasons 1 through 2 with me, or 1 and 2, I should say, and she enjoyed it. I didn't think she would, but she really liked it. It's like how the Yoshi Fanatic was retconned in 2026 into being the Hollow Knight Fanatic after Yoshi in the book was just okay. Was that too much? No. I honestly, I really like Hollow Knight, so that's not impossible. Not likely, but it's possible. I mainly just miss the personality Nintendo UI used to have. It's sort of just a video game company just like the others now. It's even less like personality driven than PlayStation and Xbox are. Like at least with PlayStation 5. I don't know about Xbox, but I'd imagine you probably can. On the PlayStation 4 and 5. On PlayStation 4 and 5, you can actually save screenshots as your backgrounds on the home screen. Nintendo Switch 2, you get a choice of 2 themes. Basic white or basic black, or basic light or basic dark, I think it is. Yeah. You want to talk about lacking personality, that's it. Nintendo Switch easily has the least interesting UI out of the bunch. Easily, hands down, no question. Wait, so what is retroactive continuity? Again, it's when like the author or the writer does take backsies. Like they don't like where the story is going, so they just decide that a part of it didn't happen. That's retconning. Retroactive continuity. Nintendo has gone as far to send a cease and desist letter to a guy that just uses plushies in his vids. What? That's ridiculous. Watch, they're gonna charge $20 later on for the Switch menu themes. You know, it's what we've been saying for a while, and I think most people would buy them. Jeez, that's Disney levels of WTF. I had no idea retcon was short for something. Wow, says Kyle. That's the kind of interesting introspectives that you'll get from Aurora. She like knows everything. Yeah, so there you go. Well, who's ready to go ahead and watch that? No, technically paying for themes is not new. You could buy themes for 3DS. Yes, and indeed. So, for instance, concerning retcons, an author might kill off a character only to bring them back in a later piece by coming up with an excuse for what really happened. Yeah, in the case of One Punch Man, like, they'll retcon entire chapters. Like, they don't like where it went, so they'll just decide, like, those last couple chapters don't count. Let's start again from this chapter. That's basically what retconning is. Nicholas B says, in my opinion, Yoshi's Story 2 is one of the games I'm looking for the most. Welcome to the stream, Nick. We're going to talk about that, like now, actually. We've been just chatting about, like, Nintendo Direct stuff and, like, you know, general stuff, just as you do in a Just Chatting stream. We've been doing that for over 2 hours now. Kind of unbelievable. Me, I'm ready to hear what you think, says J-Dog. Alright. If the character coming back was always planned, it's probably okay. But if the character was randomly brought back because they were too popular or something, then yeah, it's a retcon. Yeah, that one could probably go either way. The most clear-cut example is when you decide like an entire chapter or movie or book or whatever doesn't even count. That's pretty much the most clear-cut thing I can think of for a retcon. Shadow the Hedgehog is still being alive is probably a retcon, actually. In what sense? In like the movies or the games? Or both? Like the Halloween movies. I don't know anything about the Halloween movies. Man, I like these streams. I get to sit back, relax, and talk to a YouTuber and the other viewers and talk about random stuff. This has been fun. Honestly, like, I was upset that I didn't get to play Silk Song tonight. I'm not anymore. I'm having a blast, and I'm glad you guys are having fun too. I started watching more anime. I watched Death Note and Tokyo Ghoul. They were really good. Jeff, these streams are amazing. Like I said, I'm really glad that you're enjoying them. Dono and Yoshi. Jeff is going to eat good tonight if they release the same day. Yeah, right. I will. Absolutely, I will be. Shadow the Hedgehog died in his debut game. He came back soon after, but I don't know if that was planned or not. You know, I could probably see that being a retcon. Just because, like, he got to be such a popular character. Shadow's probably one of, if not my favorite, Sonic the Hedgehog characters. Probably because I was just about the right age demographic for, like, the demographic they were going for at the time. I was a teenager when he was first announced. Wait a minute. I think it might have been younger than that. Let's see. Sonic Adventure 2. Release date. Okay, I wasn't even a teenager yet. June 19th, 2001. I was about to turn 8 years old. So, I guess even more so. Like, I thought he was, like, the coolest. I just wonder if it was always the plan or not. Who knows? Yeah, who can really say? It's impossible to know. And does it really matter at the end of the day? Probably not. Jeff, can I reshare the Old Spice Mario movie leak? Lol. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, what song is this one? This is Yoshi's Woolly World, A Wonderful World of Wool number... I'm gonna say 5 before I look. 6. Wonderful World of Wool 6. It's one of the music tracks that plays in the Yoshi's Woolly World level Star S. It's the very last level that you unlock. What a pleasant song. It really is. Kyo Nitty Naughty. Oh, I've got to have it in here, but it's going to be hard to find it just because, like, I've got I've got this on shuffle play. Oh, here it is. No, we gotta let this one play out first. We'll go to Woolly Nitty Naughty in a minute. All right, that level was insane. I remember now. Yeah, that was a fun level. I loved it a lot. This is like the first one that this whole stream I don't at least kind of recognize. Well, there you go. I helped you recognize it. Yeah, JP, by all means, feel free. Reshare that that meme. Actually, you know what? I think I can find it. Yeah, right here. All right, here you go. So the Old Spice X Super Mario Galaxy movie deodorants look to be legit. Procter & Gamble applied for trademarks on Desert Detour and Brooklyn Bounce back in July at the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. Other crossover flavors: Space Mischief, Castle Crush, and Cosmic Quest. Bro, it's Yoshi. And Luigi. And the guy from the Sand Kingdom. Or Desert Kingdom. Dude, Yoshi's so cute. Honestly, like, I don't hate that render. I think it looks really nice. It looks a little different than the games, but I think it looks pretty nice. Shoot, wait, I just realized that I missed your birthday, says El Guapo Dad. That was, a while ago now. Almost 3 months. Now you can smell like Yoshi. Oh, dude, I'm in. I don't know if that's something I should be in. In Brooklyn Bounce? I don't know if he smells like Brooklyn Bounce. Procter & Gamble have weird connections with Nintendo. A ton of employees switch between the two companies. That's interesting. We'll never know why nobody took this down. Probably just because it was like such an out there thing, right? Like, they did not expect this to be like they knew that if they didn't say anything, it would just like fly under the radar, right? All right, let's cue up Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill. I don't know. I like this song. I like all these songs. I think people calling it fake because of the Yoshi render. I forgot this is the Mario movie. Oh wait, wrong one. Sorry, hang on. Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill. There you go. The song used to make me cry when I was younger, says Blues Cat. I'm sorry. Solar Flare asked me to put on Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill. One of my favorites, if not my favorite soundtrack song in the game. Just because it's so relaxing, I love it. It's so pleasant. Like, I can't, like, it's like laying in a hammock. You can't not relax when you're laying in a hammock. That's how I feel about Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill. I sent it assuming it was fake. I'm part of the problem, says JP. Honestly, it was reasonable to expect that. Like, who would have thought that the Yoshi render for the Mario movie 2 would leak through Old Spice body spray, of all things? It's from the stage with the boss that looks like a ghost with Stitch's face.
Hey, Abracadabra.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is from that one. Beanstalk Walk is the Yoshi song that makes me cry, says J-Dog. I might have that on here. No, I don't think I have Beanstalk Walk. No, I don't think so. I have Rainbow Meadows. Man, I love the Yoshi music in the background. It's fire, chill, and relaxing. You know, that was a last-minute addition for me. I probably could have gotten the stream started at 11:30. But then I'm like, I need to put together a playlist of Yoshi music that would sound really nice in the background. Like, just having no music while I'm sitting here and chatting might be a little boring. So, I thought, why not? It sounds like a good idea to me. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It played earlier, so it's fine. Okay, great. Hoping the Yoshi music in the new game is this good. Honestly, you know, I think that I need to stop getting so distracted. Just a heads up, this next section I am going to be cutting I am planning to cut a video out of this. So during this next section, please don't take offense, but I'm not really going to be reading comments very much unless I find it very specifically applies. Because I do want to get most of this out as like a continuous thought. With all that said, I'm surprised it was a last minute addition. Good call, says Kyle. Well, I'm glad you appreciate that. Yeah, no, like the last 20 minutes before I went live, I was putting together a playlist of Yoshi songs. But it seems like it was a worthy addition, so. Let's, with that said, the song is about to end. So, why don't we let it fade out? And we'll go ahead and go watch the trailer for the new Yoshi game. It's time, finally. You've waited 2 whole hours for this, and we're finally gonna do it. So, let's do it. Let's watch the Yoshi game trailer.
One day,
He's
on
so
the
cute,
island
I
where
love
Yoshi
that.
and his friends live, a talking
I'm
book
just gonna
named
let the
Mr. E
trailer play for the
suddenly
most part.
falls from the sky.
And then we'll play it in the
It
background
looks
too.
like the book
but
has information within its pages about unusual creatures.
I haven't watched it yet, so
But it
says El
can't
Guapo.
actually see what's
Yoshi in the
written down.
TM book.
So Yoshi jumps in to help investigate. First, let's study this flower-like creature.
Clown car. I'll get to that, JP. I'll get to that.
We found it right away.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty much
Tastes
just gonna let
kind
this
of
play,
sweet.
and we'll get there.
You can carry this.
We'll get to my
creature on your
discussion
back.
on this.
Touch flower buds with it.
Yoshi's Educational
and they'll
Island. Not gonna lie, I kind of love
As
that
you
name,
wander
and I
through
loved
the
that
book,
animation, by the
you'll
way,
make all
of him
sorts
just
of
like
discoveries about
playing
the
around with the
creatures you
flower.
find. And those discoveries will be written down. Hey, we found some dandelions. Touch them and they'll scatter in the air. Oh no, that creature is stuck.
I like the stop motion animation and art direction, says
It
Blue's
seems
Cat.
like the dandelions can absorb
very
nutrients. Oh, they can even cause rocks to crack. Thanks to them, we were able to break the rock.
Is the frame rate astonishingly horrible, or is it stop motion?
It looks like
Yeah,
there
no,
are
it's stop
still
motion.
lots of unusual creatures residing within the book.
My goodness,
A
that's adorable.
page-turning adventure awaits.
Yoshi just ignored the stuck flower. Oof.
Yoshi
True.
and the Mysterious Book launches on Nintendo Switch 2 next spring.
Well, looks like I'm getting a Nintendo Switch too. We're gonna go back to big camera mode, and we're gonna play the trailer in the background. I feel like that would be a nice touch. No, we're not replaying the trailer. And go back to full screen. Okay, so that was unexpected. We got our big Nintendo Direct here on a Friday in September of all things. And to add to the surprise, we got a brand new Yoshi game announced. As part of the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Bros., Yoshi and the Mysterious Book was announced as the last announcement in that line of announcements. That's they ended on a good note, that's for sure. But that definitely caught me off guard. I was fully expecting a new Yoshi game to come out in like the 2 to 3 year mark of the Nintendo Switch 2. I did not expect that it would come out this early on, like within the first year. I'm still gonna stick to my guns and say that's not within the launch window. But yeah, I didn't expect it to come this early. Talk about a pleasant surprise, though. And yeah, why don't we go ahead and talk about it? So, my thoughts on Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. It looks really nice to me, honestly. I'm a little disappointed that we're going back in with the storybook sort of aesthetic, but I'm going to dive a little bit further into that. For now, just know that I had mixed feelings about it when I first saw the trailer, but I think it's growing on me. So to start off with, the trailer starts with Yoshi on Yoshi's Island with his Yoshi friends, just hanging out, doing Yoshi things, eating fruit, looking cute, as a Yoshi does. And I do appreciate that the game actually takes place on Yoshi's Island. Like, you know, the last couple of Yoshi games have taken place in, on Craft Island or some place in the middle of the handmade ocean as like an arts and crafts sort of art style. And don't get me wrong, I love those games. But something about this game taking place on Yoshi's Island, I've just missed that. I feel like there's so much untapped potential in Yoshi's Island, and it is nice to see him return to that. And it's nice knowing that this game is taking place in like the actual Mario universe instead of like being in the imagination of some kid or something at, you know, a Mario-centric daycare or something. I don't know. It's just nice to come back to actual Mario-centric or Mario Universe-centric Yoshi settings. I like that a lot. I've missed it. And I gotta say, Yoshi's Island in this modern art style looks amazing. It makes me think of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track of Yoshi's Island that came out for the DLC of that game. Just a great kind of modern take of Yoshi's Island. Like, you think about Yoshi's Island, you think about like the coloring book sort of aesthetic that it has. Both Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC track and the what short little snippets we saw of this trailer's Yoshi's Island version, they adapt that art style really nicely. It's like a softer pastel sort of color. Even though like you're not in a storybook, you're not in a coloring book, and it's not supposed to look like that, they still keep the softer, like pastel looking colors, and I really appreciate that. I am a little bit sad that we won't be spending most of our time on Yoshi's Island, like exploring Yoshi's Island. From what I can tell, most of this game is going to take place in an encyclopedia or inside a book. But again, we'll get to that. Let's not put the Yoshi before the cart, or let's not put the cart before the Yoshi. Continuing on with where the trailer left off, we see a clown car, which looks like Bowser Jr.'s clown car flying overhead, and it's holding a book. And shout out to J to the P Moreno from the Discord server for bringing this up. I definitely wouldn't have noticed it unless he brought it to my attention. So thank you, JP. Bowser Jr.'s clown car, or maybe Baby Bowser's clown car, flies overhead carrying a book. It'll be interesting to see where the Bowser character, whether it be Baby Bowser or Bowser Jr., comes up in this game. But, you know, time will tell, I guess. But the important part is he drops a book whose name is Mr. Encyclopedia, or Mr. E for short. That's the mysterious book. Play on words there. I appreciate that. And this encyclopedia lands on the island, and he's lost like all the information that he has on these characters in his pages. Like the text is just indiscernible. So Yoshi hops into the pages of the book to help him uncover the information about these characters. And I'm a little bit bummed that the majority of the gameplay, it seems like, if not all of it, is going to take place inside this book. Like, this is not the first time that we have a Yoshi game taking place in some kind of book. In fact, there's been 2 games before this that take place in a book. Yoshi's Story and Yoshi Topsy-Turvy. In both games, Yoshi's Island turns into a storybook. One is from A Curse from Bowser, and one is from A Curse from this, you know, godlike being that's not Bowser, but either way, they're both pop-up storybooks. And for what it's worth, this new book is an encyclopedia instead of a pop-up storybook. So I guess we're progressing forwards a little bit. Like, I was first introduced to encyclopedia in my library class in 3rd grade, so that's a little bit higher up in the age bracket than pop-up storybooks. I'll take what I can get. Also, the Mr. E encyclopedia character really reminds me of Toadsworth. Yeah, he really reminds me of Toadsworth. I think it's mostly just the bushy white mustache and the monocle, and just the general sort of like intonation of his voice. I doubt there's anything to that. He kind of just makes me think of Toadsworth. I'm just gonna put this out there. I think it'll be really funny if like that ends up being Toadsworth put under a curse or something like that. But that's what he made me think of anyway. coming back to the art style, at first I was conflicted. I'm like, oh great, another like book style, like another like storybook, another like artsy fartsy kind of art style. Like I wanted something more like down to earth, something more normal, something like Kirby Star Allies or Kirby in the Forgotten Land or something like that, where it's very clearly cartoony, like round plushy sort of character design that, feels like it would squish if you touched him, that sort of thing. But like the environments are gorgeous. I think I really would have preferred that sort of art style, but I got to admit, this storybook or this book background or the book art style, I'll say, it's growing on me. Like I watched the trailer a few times now, and it's really pleasant, honestly. Like it's not, it seems like it's kind of borrowing from the idea of Yoshi's Island more than it's borrowing from the idea of Yoshi's Story and Yoshi Topsy-Turvy. Again, it's an encyclopedia. It's not a pop-up storybook. You don't have cardboard or denim popping up in places where it probably really shouldn't be. It's all like nicely colored in backgrounds. It honestly reminds me of like the older Winnie the Pooh storybooks and cartoons. It's got a really nice look to it. It doesn't seem like childish or anything like that. It doesn't seem like it's a coloring book. It's nice illustrations. Like I said, right out of the Winnie the Pooh cartoons from my youth, like the 90s or whenever they came out. I have no idea. But that's just what it reminds me of. It's honestly a really nice look. And then you go to the foreground, and from what I could gather, I'm not an art connoisseur, but from what I could gather, it's almost like watercolor themed. Like, again, pastel-y sort of soft colors that, it's not like the background where it's like just drawings, like 2D drawings. It's more like almost like clay sculptures with a sort of pastel sort of overlay. On paper, no pun intended, but on paper, it seems like it'd be a weird mashup, but I think it comes together really nicely. And then the animations of the characters in the foreground, like your flower characters, Yoshi, obviously, the dandelions, all that stuff. It's stop motion, which I'm not usually a fan of stop motion. I think it's kind of just visually jarring to me, but I will say that it kind of earns its place here. It makes sense because you have like, you're going in and out of an encyclopedia. You're going in and out of a book-centered world. It makes sense to have some sort of visual distinction between the two. And stop motion, I'm not going to hate on it. I think it's a little bit jarring. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of stop motion just in general, but as far as stop motion goes, I think it looks really nice. Honestly, it makes sense to me. So yeah, I will say though, in terms of animation, like Yoshi's running animation looked a little silly, like almost like he's falling over and just trying to catch himself. Like he's leaned way too far forward. Please tell me that's not like his running animation throughout the whole game. I just think that's silly. But I will say, like, getting past the running animation, the idle animation was super cute. Like when Yoshi had the flower on his back and he just like does a handstand and plays with the flower, like spinning him around on his feet. That was really cute. I really hope that we see more idle animations like that. It's just adorable. My goodness. Getting to the gameplay now. I think it looks interesting. So each level is like a page dedicated to a certain character in the book that you're trying to get information for. In the trailer, it really focused on the flower type enemy. And as you interact with it throughout the level, like you gobble it and you have it interact with the environments, like you fill out different information for the encyclopedia about that enemy. And I hesitate to call them enemies. Right now, they seem like just kind of foreground characters or just characters that you interact with more than they are enemies. They seem more like neutral, like the they make me think of Amazing Daisies from Paper Mario games. Kind of just characters that are hanging out doing their thing. There's different gameplay mechanics for each one of them, it looks like. There were only a few shown, like the one that you throw at a target and stick it to the target, the one that like lifts Yoshi up in a bubble, and then of course the one that it really focuses on is the flower. There's a lot of interesting ways that I can see this game mechanic being used, and it's really unique. It makes me, like, the theme of this game makes me think of Yoshi's Story, but the gameplay of it looks like it's its own unique animal, and I'm honestly looking forward to seeing where the game takes it. I also think it's really cool that the characters can ride on Yoshi's back. It's a nice parallel to the Yoshi's Island games, but hopefully this time without any screaming babies. And it makes me wonder if the health system will be more similar to the Yoshi's Island games, where like the character gets off Yoshi's back and you have to like recover them, or if it's going to be more of a standard sort of like Yoshi has his own dedicated health gauge, like the non-island Yoshi games, like Yoshi's Story and Yoshi's Woolly World, that kind of thing, where he has his own health gauge. I'm leaning more towards that because the character isn't just always on Yoshi's back. You can take him on and off of Yoshi's back. So I think it'll probably be the latter. So that'll be interesting to see. I look forward to seeing where the gameplay goes. I foresee a lot of interesting platforming mechanics, a lot of interesting like puzzles and like stuff like that. Just seeing what's in the trailer already, I think it honestly looks pretty promising. Like, it'll be a fun game to play, I think. Looking forward to it. Finally, the main theme music. Like, there's only one song that's played in the trailer itself, but it's a nice sort of soft kind of song. It's really nice. Relaxing, kind of makes me think of like some of the softer Yoshi's Woolly World music. I don't think it really measures up to the greatness of the Woolly World OST, to be truthful, but it's quite pleasant. And I will say extra points for no kazoos, no slide whistles, no child instruments, as far as I can see. Again, it's just one song that we heard, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for no kazoos this time, or slide whistles. Just let's hear a good soundtrack. Let's hear a good soundtrack for this game. Let's not ruin it with poor instrument selections. Let's keep it status quo in that respect. Let's not try to get creative with the kids' instruments. I'm kind of tired of that. I guess one last thought is I wonder who's developing this game. Because for the last couple games, Woolly World and Crafted World, those were both developed by Goodfeel. I wonder if Goodfeel's still taking a stab at the Yoshi series, or if this is another developer. I don't really see any tells that informs me as to, is it Goodfeel? Is it Nintendo proper? Is it someone else? I don't know, but I definitely look forward to finding out. It'll be interesting to see for sure. Overall, this game isn't really what I was hoping for the next Yoshi game. Again, when I first saw the trailer, I was a little bit disappointed at first, and I had mixed feelings, but honestly, like, it's growing on me. It looks really nice, and the more I watch the trailer, the more I'm appreciating the art style, and, well, also appreciating that the OST doesn't punch me in the nuts. I like that. And the gameplay looks interesting and unique. The more I look at it, the more excited I get for it. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to picking it up and playing it, and really looking forward to getting more into it, developing some full thoughts on it. I'm excited. This is the first new Yoshi game in, well, by the time it comes out, it'll have been 7 years since Yoshi's Crafted World. So it's not like any of us were waiting on bated breath for a new Yoshi game, but 7 years is a long time to wait. And I'm really hoping that this will be worth the wait. And seeing what I am seeing so far, I think it will be. That said, I am a little bit upset that I have to go out and buy a Switch 2 just for this. I think this could have easily been a Switch 1 game. Yeah. Oh well. That's going to be an expensive day for me, but I got to get that new Yoshi game. So those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me go back and read some comments here. Would you prefer a traditional art style, or are you happy with a mix of both emotions? Or a mix of both with emotions? I think it's kind of a mix. Like I said, I would have preferred something more traditional. Like Kirby Star Allies is the like premier example of like a 2D game that, oh, the backgrounds were gorgeous and like the characters looked great. I think that would have been a great fit. But I'm not terribly upset about this new art style, this new art direction, because we kind of get a little bit of that. Like we see the Yoshis on Yoshi's Island, and that all looks nice. And then it transitions to the book, which will probably be the majority of the gameplay. But the art style, like I said, it's growing on me. I'm appreciating it, so I don't think I'm too upset. I didn't even notice the clown car. I thought it was Kamek at first, says DV. Yeah, no, I appreciate that JP pointed that out. I would have never known. I'd love it to be Bowser Jr. mainly so that we can have another Yoshi game in the modern day. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Agreed 100%. Oh, Guapadot says, I'm actually hyped for this, but I was not planning on getting a Switch 2. Neither was I, but as the Yoshi fanatic, I gotta cover it, man. I have to. Nah, Yoshi in Universe Toadsworth. Mr. E. Mystery. Cute pun. It is a cute pun. I like it. Oh, like in Yoshi's New Island where Pipe Guy was Mario? Kind of, I guess, yeah. It isn't relying solely on the art style gimmicks. Yeah, that I appreciate. Like, it seems like it's just a different art style because it's a different setting. It doesn't look like it's relying on it very much. Like, you're not taking a pencil and drawing the bridge or whatever. Like, it looks to be just the setting. And I appreciate that. That's what I was thinking. Pooh Bear, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I'm glad it wasn't just me. The more I watch the trailer, the more I like the way both the graphics and gameplay look so far, says Kyle. Yeah, honestly, I'm appreciating it. And I think by the time we get to it, I'm going to be stoked about the art style. I think so. I feel the craft and art style on the game is not as noticeable as Woolly World and especially Crafted World, says Golden Guy. Yeah, for the sake that it's not like the central focus. That I really do appreciate. Yoshi's running animation looks like a more exaggerated version of how he runs in Yoshi's Island. Yeah, and I think it feels off. I don't really like it. I mean, if it's gonna be like the running animation for the game, I'll get used to it, but I'm not gonna like it. I wonder if we're going to get a demo. That would be nice, and if we do, I'm streaming it. It sort of reminds me of Pokemon Snap in a way. Will there even be a health system? It doesn't seem like much can harm Yoshi. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious. I hope it's not like a you can't die situation. We don't need that in the Yoshi games. I gotta be honest, we don't need that. Maybe a lot of the characters you're studying will give you new gimmicks when they're riding you, making the levels different. Who knows? It seems that way. I mean, like, even just the flower character, like, you can make flowers grow when that character is on Yoshi's back. I think that is going to tie into the gameplay mechanics. I'm really interested to see how that goes. Imagine if Bert the Bashful returns again, and it's a whole new, a lot more new. No! Please don't. Honestly, I think we could have one Yoshi game without Bert the Bashful, Naval Piranha, and Notwing the Koopa. Can we please? Please, Yoshi deserves a good soundtrack and not a weird soundtrack. Yes, please. The game seems a lot less childish overall, says DV. That I can appreciate. Medical Potion says the best gaming announcements that got me hyped today are Yoshi and Mega Man Star Forced. Hyped? I didn't even know about Mega Man. There you go. It's a good day, honestly, to be a Yoshi/Mega Man fan. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, Medical Potion? It looks like a good feel to me, says JP. It seems like it definitely could be, but I'm not sure. Which Nintendo studio made Mario Wonder? That was Nintendo in-house. I don't know which exactly. I usually just throw them under the umbrella of EAD, which is Nintendo Entertainment and Development. That felt like an actual vid, says El Guapo Dot. It's going to be. I'm going to edit it, hopefully this weekend, to get it out before Monday. We'll see. We'll see. So when you get a Switch 2, will this be the first game to stream on this channel, or will it still be Bonanza? I don't know yet. I'm leaning towards getting the Switch 2 for Christmas. I'll probably buy it Black Friday, wrap it up, put it in some closet that hopefully the kids won't find, and then that'll be the big Christmas gift this year. We'll see. Mega Man Star Force Collection being buried by everything in the Direct is so unfair. Yeah, I wish I would have been in the Direct. I feel like that would have been fitting. Yoshi's World, A Crafted World kind of gave me the creeps, not gonna lie. It had such an uncanny feeling to it. Interesting take. But I'm not gonna say that's unreasonable. Weird not seeing any Shy Guys right away. Oh man, good point. Shy Guys are not... I haven't been shown. That's interesting. Huh. Kind of reminds me of Island DS, how the critters give Yoshi extra abilities. I love that. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. Like, the fact that the critters give you different abilities like the babies in Yoshi's Island DS did. Very interesting parallel, JP. Very interesting. This is why Story and Topsy Turvy are the best games. No Bert the Bashful. Oh my goodness. But Jeff, what about this? Bert the Bashful, but it's 3 of them instead of 2. Hey, that should have been in the 3DS. That missed opportunity. Yoshi's Island, one Bert the Bashful because of one screen. Bert the Bashful twins in DS. Dual screens, 2 Bert the Bashfuls. Nintendo 3DS, 3 DS, 3 Berts. Missed opportunity, but I'm not going to be upset about that. If there's a fight with 3 Bert the Bashfuls, I'm not getting the game. I like the guy, but please, unless there's a level where you're studying Bert the Bashful and he's riding you, I could get into that. Pretty good. Can't complain. It's his medical potion. I'm glad to hear that. We're never getting a new Mega game, are we? Oh, we will at some point, I'm sure. I mean, Mega Man 11 came out against all odds, right? Where is it? When did this come out? 2018. Japers. It's been 7 years since Mega Man 11. Wow. Have faith, guys. Have faith. Mega Man, I feel like, is a big enough series where we have to get a new entry at some point, right? Give us Mega Man X9. Good night, everyone, and have a good week. Loved hearing your thoughts on the new Yoshi game. Robert, I appreciate that you stuck around to the end, friend. I know it's very late, but thank you. It means a lot that all of you guys really stuck around. This has been a ton of fun. If there's a... Oh, I'm sorry. I read that already. Weirdly gives me Topsy-Turvy vibes. Mr. E's design fits that game, plus the game being an unconventional take on the Yoshi formula, at least so far. Good parallel again. Yeah, I can see that. Has one of your kids ever messed up your set 2 minutes before stream, or they randomly wake up and tiptoe to you up in the middle of the night talking to yourself? The latter, yes, absolutely. They don't tiptoe. They normally they come down the stairs here and then just jump over onto the couch and kind of just hang out. Sometimes JJ will come down. Well, he hasn't recently, but there was a time there where he was just getting so used to coming down in the night, even if he was too tired, he would come down and lay on the couch, I think just because he liked being with me. And it was adorable. And he's been in a couple of streams. Sky actually brought up the idea of live streaming with him on a more regular basis at some point. And I just might. We'll see. Why is the soundtrack not as bad or worse as childish as Yoshi's New Island Theme Platinum Edition? No farts and kazoos. Sad! This is Golden Guy. Mega Man 11 was 8 years ago, says DV. Yeah. Well, 7, but yeah, going on 8. I'm probably going to have some ideas for a story, says El Guapo Dad. By all means, friend. By all means. Mega Man 11 was so long ago. Yeah, medical potion, definitely have faith. I'm sure that we'll get there, friend. I'm sure that we'll get there. Mega Man 12, X9, just give us a fresh new Mega Man. And there you go, something absolutely brand new. I could stand to go with that, honestly. Legends 3 one day. And then again, if we got Mega Man 11, that would probably ruin the timeline. Is there a Mega Man timeline? Are we sure about that? I mean, maybe in the X games. Medical Potion says, I wish they would remaster Mega Man Command Mission and start making sequels to it. It's alternate canon to the X series, but it's a really good RPG in my opinion. Nice. Honestly, Mega Man's got a lot of games. There's a lot of directions they could go with a new one, so fingers crossed. I hope we get a new one at some point. Hello, Dr. Jeffrey. Welcome to the stream, friend. Can't believe you're still awake this late. I can't believe this has been like a full 3-hour live stream. I thought this was going to be like an hour thing and I'd be done. I've just had so much fun. Just finished my first ending of Silk Song. Jeepers, Dr. Jeffrey. Well done. No spoilers, please. I couldn't play it today. But, yeah. It could be cute to stream playing something with him if you were able. You know, honestly, like if I get... what are some games I could play with him? Smash Bros. He's been really into Smash Bros. Lately. He's been interested in the new Super Mario Bros. Game, so maybe. Or like... we've been playing Breath of the Wild together lately. Like, he's been getting into Breath of the Wild quite a bit lately. And, like, I'll do most of the playing for him. Like, I'll adventure, I'll, like, beat up the bokoblins and stuff. But then I'll hand over the controller to him every once in a while. He loves cooking in the game. He loves, like, putting foods together and making new recipes. And he's also been enjoying, like, riding the horse that we got him in the game. It's a black and white one. Like our guinea pig, Truffles. So we called the horse Truffles. It's adorable. He's having a ton of fun with the game, both watching it and playing it. I think it's been like our new bonding experience lately. So maybe at some point, that might be a good one too. Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and JJ, the Donkey Kong Fanatic. He's the Sonic Fanatic, I gotta say. He's definitely the Sonic Fanatic. I watched the direct with him earlier when I got home. And he was disappointed that there was no Sonic. But he had fun watching it. I'm watching the direct anyway. He sat through the whole thing. That was impressive. Jeff's got a guinea pig? New Jeff lore unlocked. You want me to show you a picture? Hang on, give me a second. Let's see here. It's gotta be before that. It was pretty early on. Like, we got Truffles in, like, April. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I know I can find a picture of our adorable little friend Truffles. There we go. Here it is. Check it out. Yeah, there we go. Our cute little friend Truffles. She is adorable. Adorable little thing. We call her Cute Little Thing. That's like her nickname. Cute Little Thing. It's Truffles. I know it might be tough to keep him on track to stream for someone so young. Trust me, I know what that's like. But yeah, could be cute if you're willing to try. I'm thinking about it. Maybe when he's a little bit older and can like carry a more coherent thought. He's only 5 right now. But yeah, like he's shown interest in, like, he'll take the tablet that we let him play with and he'll like record videos on it. And like Sky has the cute little catchphrase of, "Welcome back to the silly Jeremiah videos." So yeah, I think he's a future streamer for sure. Sorry we all derailed you so much. No problem, man. This has been a ton of fun. Like Solar Flare said, I should definitely do more of these just chatting live streams. This has been a ton of fun. And we got a great turnout, honestly. For starting the stream at nearly midnight and having like so many of you guys tune in, it's been so much fun. Don't apologize for anything. That's part of the fun, man. Well, Jeff, this was fun. Talking about the new Yoshi that I didn't even know existed until I saw the stream name. Talking about sicknesses and you almost died. How bad Nintendo's been. It's been fun. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to do more of these on like a more regular basis. Like, heck, maybe we can do it like a bi-monthly thing. Like every other month or even every month. Make one of the live streams just a just chatting stream. I honestly, after doing this, I'd honestly be down for that. I could do that. I like how the Amazy Daisy was in the trailer. It's a Paper Mario enemy, so it fits being inside a book. Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I mean, like, the daisies have been an enemy in Yoshi games for a while, so maybe that's why I didn't really think about that too hard. But yeah, that's a nice little parallel for sure. I like Mega Man, but if we get a Mega Man 12 or new X/XZ/0 game, then the new game theorists will have to redo the entire timeline and redo the entire theory again. More clicks, more videos. I don't think they'd complain that much. Next Sonic is just around the corner, probably. True. And, well, he likes the character of Sonic. He doesn't really get into the games as much. I think he's like me. Like, I appreciate the Sonic character. I do not like the Sonic games. I've tried. I gave myself the best possible chance with Sonic Mania. I got through the game, and I have no interest in playing it again. I thought it was well done for what it is, but I just don't like Sonic games. I just finished feeding my 5 Yoshis, 2 green, 2 blue, in the Discord. And there you go, Guapo. Is that something you wanted me to see? There you go. Giving the Yoshis a corn dog? I appreciate that. The 2 in the back look especially happy. Back to the action. My sister got into Sonic Forces specifically and has no interest in any other Sonic game. Honestly, JJ probably would enjoy that one too, just for the create your own character sort of thing. What's his opinion on Shadow? He thinks Shadow's very cool. His first exposure to Shadow was in Sonic 3, the Sonic movie 3. The daisies were a Yoshi enemy first. Yes, they were. I couldn't sleep tonight, so I was excited to see your stream start. I wasn't sure what to do with myself tonight. Well, Kyle, I'm glad I could keep you occupied. I hope you do get some sleep, though, friend. Sleep is important. If you could play only one Yoshi game for life, what Yoshi game would you choose? Note, you can't choose Island and Woolly World. That would have been obvious answers. Man, I don't know. Probably Yoshi's Story. I think it would be Yoshi's Story. Just because, like, it's kind of got that replayability where if you want to find everything, you're gonna be busy for a while. And even then, like, you can always get new high scores, which I normally don't really care for high scores, but if I only had one to play, the high score could probably be, like, a reason for me to keep playing it, so. And with I know people dislike, or at least dunk on, the, like, the 6-page sort of setup with, like, the 4 different levels on each thing, but you can, like, weave together your own Yoshi story at the end, and it reads it back to you, like, your path through the different pages. I really appreciate that touch, and I think that I could get a lot of mileage out of that if Yoshi's Story was the only game the only Yoshi game that I could play. I'm going with Yoshi's Story. I feel like everyone loves Shadow a lot at some point. Yeah, I never got out of that phase. My favorite Sonic games are Adventure 1 and 2 and Unleashed, says Medical Potion. I wish I had a favorite Sonic game. I really do. 2026 is the year of Yoshi and Rosalina, I guess, says JP. Yeah, there you go. Movie representation and a new game. I'm into it, man. I'm into it. No, I'll be fine, but thank you. This has been very relaxing. Awesome. Do you think Monkey is going to be in the new Yoshi game? I would be surprised if he wasn't. The monkey is like a staple Yoshi enemy. I would pick Yoshi's Story too. Awesome. Now, I do think that is a strong contender for if you could only play one, that would be the one. The Mario mangas are wild, so yeah. There was a manga of Mario, and there was a chapter where Mario got sent to hell. Jeepers, that escalated quickly. If I had to pick one Yoshi game to play for life, can I pick Tetris Attack? Absolutely you can. Not that it's my favorite, but it would keep my mind stimulated at least. But otherwise, yeah, I would also pick Yoshi's Story. Tetris Attack is a good pick. I don't know that I would get as much mileage out of that as I would with Story. I just appreciate the mainline game so much more. But Tetris Attack is definitely my favorite spin-off of the Yoshi games. Since 2026 is the year of Yoshi, when will we get Dr. Yoshi? Mario went to hell for taking drugs. My goodness. Monkey with a Wario hat should be in Mario Kart. That seems very specific. It sounds very specific to my playthrough of Mario 64 DS. Alright guys, well, if you couldn't tell, I think my voice is going. So I think I need to be done here. I need to wrap up. Not to mention it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I need sleep. And I think you guys do too. I haven't technically played Tetris Attack, but Panel de Pon, similar game, similarly cute people to play as. Yeah, very similar. Have a good night, gamers. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this one, and man, for sticking around for the whole thing. Holy cow. Those of you who have stuck around since the beginning of the stream, you guys are champions. This was awesome. Me tired. I going to head out. Peace. Me too, Dr. Jeffrey. But yeah, a lot of fun. And I gotta do more of these. This was a blast. Like, I like talking with you guys. That's like the highlight of the streams. Like, I usually play the game as almost background noise, but cutting the background noise out, this has actually been a great experience, and I'm glad you guys had fun. I hope you had as much fun as I did. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Join the Discord if you haven't already and that suits your fancy. Yeah, a lot of stuff in there. That's the most reliable way to get a hold of me. You can chat with me there. I love chatting with the fans. Updates as to when the next stream is, or progress on the video whenever I have progress on the next video. That sort of stuff is going to be in the Discord primarily. You can recommend games for me to play on stream. You can recommend music for me to use in the intro and outro of the stream. You could post pictures of your food and stuff like that. Lots of fun. So the Discord is a great place to hang out. Hope to see you there. Guys, next week, I really want to get back to Hollow Knight Silksong. I missed playing it this week. I want to play it. So tune in next Friday, starting around, hopefully, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take half an hour or so. We're going to continue Silksong. And I'm going to have to reteach myself how to play this game. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys look forward to it. So, yeah. Oh, one last thing. That little thoughts discussion I had on the Yoshi game trailer. Look for a video either at the end of this weekend or early this coming week. I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to edit it, but I do want to get a video out. Yeah, look for that. And yeah, until then, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. See you around.